This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
You with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I'm in. Or he just won't let it go.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, March 12th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. And I'm here with Tori, Bo, Brandon, and I'm Sam. Let's get started. We begin with some shocking breaking news. Two big celebs, Full House star Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, the former Desperate Housewives star, are allegedly desperate to get their kids into elite schools. Huffman has been arrested and is in custody after she was indicted, along with dozens of others, in a massive bribery scheme, allegedly paying a lot of money to get their kids into elite schools like Yale, Stanford, and USC. Authorities claim that Huffman paid $15,000 so that her daughter would be given twice the time to take the SATs and even have her answers corrected by the proctor. Lori Loughlin has also been indicted for allegedly paying $500,000 to have her two daughters labeled as recruited athletes, even though they were not. And there's an interesting twist. The indictment says most of the students admitted to the schools that they had no idea what their parents were allegedly doing. This boils my blood, of course, scholastically, but also as former athletes who were recruited. We're both Brandon and I, college athletes. We worked our butts off to get those scholarships and to get into those schools. And then you're telling me because your parents are rich, you get that same privilege without the hard work?
The privilege of the privilege. But I think the NCAA needs to come in and slap sanctions down, especially on USC, because USC had a player named Reggie Bush. He's arguably one of the greatest college football players of all time. When he got in trouble, or his family got in trouble for taking money from boosters, USC slapped, there were sanctions slapped. There are no pictures of him. They took his jersey away, took the Heisman Trophy down. So if privilege of privilege thinks that they can buy their way into faking their way into this school, I think the NCAA needs to come in and slap hard sanctions.
And I believe they will. I mean, we're already seeing people being locked up.
Yeah, Felicity Huffman being locked up in handcuffs is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it got even as bad as they said. Lori Loughlin said, "My daughters are rowers." So USC said, "Well, can we see evidence of that?" And she sent a picture of them on a rowing machine. I mean, at some point, this is all a big bribery scheme. There's one guy in California that he's been telling everybody else. So he's the guy you go to, you pay the money, and it all gets done. It's just what people think, that the rich get it, and they're right. It's frustrating.
And in part, Tori, it's what I would call Hollywood hubris. It's not just the rich, it's this bubble of Hollywood of we can get away with anything. You know what I mean?
Untouchable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I went to Northwestern. It's a very competitive school. My SAT scores weren't really at the level probably they could have been. I had to audition for the voice program, but I auditioned to get in based on my merit. So I knew I got in for the right reasons. But when I think about standardized tests and when I think about the cheating that's going on in this system, whether it's athletically or academically, I would say it's got to stop.
And many educators would agree with you.
Need to be made here.
And I think an example is being made. I mean, we'll follow the story. These are all allegations, but we will continue to follow it. And then, of course, I worry about the children now.
Yeah, because they didn't even know that's not their fault at all.
You're punishing your children in the end.
Totally.
Absolutely. We do have new video in right now of Jussie Smollett showing up to a Chicago courthouse just minutes ago. So let's get to Kelly Schuberth with the latest.
Sam, right now a hearing is underway to discuss whether cameras should be allowed in the courtroom during Jussie Smollett's case. We're told Jussie didn't even have to show up for today's hearing, but here he is strutting into the courtroom right before it started. Now, this is the first time we've seen the actor since he was indicted on 16 counts after police say he lied about being the victim of a hate crime. TMZ reports Smollett wanted to be in the courthouse today because he wants to be an active participant in his defense. Sam, we're hearing reports in the courtroom right now that the defense plans to give a statement to the media tomorrow. I'll keep you updated.
Wow.
That was Beyoncé in formation. I mean, are you kidding me? He sashayed in, there was like a rehearsed thing there. I mean, you're talking perp walks are now viral so that they're really important. Remember, Harvey Weinstein brought a book showing his redemption. People are using the perp walk here to the courtroom as a moment.
Well, I mean, look, we just talked about it. Again, Hollywood hubris. Like, he was on a show called Empire. There was another show called Empire Falls. I think that's what we're about to see.
Whoa.
Now, I mean, well, but Garagos is good, Tori. Let's not make any mistake about it. The fact that the police said, hey, he paid the check for training services and that it was for training, they're going to try to paint the picture.
Garagos got Michael Jackson off the first time around.
That's what I worry about our legal system is things like that.
I know. Believe me, many people would agree with you when it comes to our legal system. Today is a special anniversary. Are you guys ready to hear this? The World Wide Web turns 30. And how many of you remember this sound?
Could they not have picked a worse sound?
Google is marking the occasion with this doodle, paying homage to a vintage computer, complete with a CD-ROM drive, clunky keyboard, and an old-school monitor. But it's that modem connection that made all the difference. And it was this man, English software engineer Tim Berners-Lee, who on this date in 1989 wrote a paper that detailed the creation of the World Wide Web, a universally accepted way of accessing the internet. And now, 30 years later, the world, of course, has completely changed because of it. But this has us asking, what do we remember our first experiences regarding the World Wide Web?
Mine was have2dream@AOL.com.
So your chat name.
My chat name, and then chatting with like random people in the room, and then playing a lot of Where in the World
is
Carmen Sandiego.
But what do you remember?
The eternity it took to download anything.
Yes.
Having to leave and come back hours later and hope that the thing had moved.
Yeah, that little the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just remember learning it, meaning like learning to type in an address, because again, it was a different language. So I remember having to learn
like
the
a
language.
web address.
Yes, the web address, but you had to put HTTP //
colon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never took keyboarding classes in high school, but I learned how to type. I learned how to look up and type just from AOL, trying to chat with people.
Chatty Cathy over there.
My first time. Absolutely. I used to get so mad when someone would call in and I'd get kicked offline.
Oh, yeah.
After being there, you're talking, you're sitting there trying to flirt with somebody, and you're like, all of a sudden, he's like,
because someone had used the phone.
Who do you want to talk to? Like, is this more important than me trying to flirt right now? Like, come on. You know?
And what has changed? Because now they're sliding into your DMs, aren't they, Brandon? Instantaneously.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like my DMs loading up for a long time for me to be like, what's this one going to say?
Probably give you time to do your homework, right? As they load up. So funny. DBL Nation, chime in. We want to hear your memories, your first memories of using the World Wide Web.
Oh, boy.
Well, who doesn't love a flying baby elephant? Well, a bunch of A-list stars and their kids turned out to celebrate the premiere of Disney's new live-action remake of Dumbo. Oh, look at him. Angelina Jolie and 4 of her kids walked the red carpet, including Zahara, Shiloh, and the twins, Vivian and Knox. Look how old they are. Angelina wore a white sleeveless gown that showed off her awesome collection of back tattoos. Also on hand was Helen Mirren, who wore a pale gray dress and a patterned jacket. And check this out. Mirren nearly fell over trying out this carnival sledgehammer game. Boom! But looks like she did pretty well, all things considered. That's a huge sledgehammer. Listen, Dumbo is near and dear to many people's hearts. What do you think about the new live-action film? Are you going to see it?
Yeah, I think they're just getting great. I remember back in Shrek when the gingerbread man lifted up, and just the detail on his back.
Not my gumdrop buttons!
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now we're dealing with an elephant that really looks like an elephant, which may, Sam, hit home for some people like yourself who are animal rights advocates.
I don't know if I can see the movie. I love that this movie is pushing an animal rights agenda. Apparently, people are applauding Tim Burton and the compassion through the character. However, it's going to be a little bit too real for me. I don't want to see Dumbo being separated from his mom.
Dumbo and Bambi are no-goes for me at all. Probably won't see it, but excited to see Michael Keaton back with Tim Burton. Last time was Beetlejuice, so really, really excited to see that.
You know, I cried when Bambi's mom died.
Who didn't?
I cried when Mufasa died, too.
Mufasa, I know.
There's another one that's about to come out.
What?
Lion King.
Yeah,
That's going to be
tough.
just getting great.
I know. Way to go. Well, I know a lot of you are going to see it, so let us know. We have to give a big DBL shout out to Kim Kardashian West. She is paying rent for the next 5 years for a man who was recently released from prison under the new prison reform laws. Here is the man, Matthew Charles, who served 20 years for a non-violent drug and weapons charge. And now that he's out, he was turned down on a housing application because of his past, but Kim K is coming to the rescue. I love this about her. It's sad that she has to come to the rescue. So many of these prisoners, they come out reformed and paying their sentence, but they have such a heavy stigma attached to them.
Absolutely, and they say back in May when she met with President Trump to discuss clemency for Alice Johnson, she brought Mr. Matthews' name up as well.
Aww.
So he was also at Trump's State of the Union address as well. So she's pushing forward. I think one day she may run for some sort of political
She's walking
office.
the walk, man.
I talked to a friend of mine who deals with prison reform, and she said that this is a common problem with inmates, that they have all the resources and support inside, and when they get out, when you get your freedom, you have nothing. So there are some resources we're going to put online for people who want a second chance because it is difficult.
Good. Great. Very good. DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, a crazy building blitz has turned into a dream come true. Meet the amazing family who has a new home thanks in part to our very own Bo Davidson. Plus, what the heck is this giant creature, huh? We'll have all the details on this viral superstar. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. You're fired up with comments about this photo of these two preschoolers in scrubs. Is it sexist? Is it cute? DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. That's coming up next on DBL.
They loved Bambi and Dumbo. I don't know how you can like either, because I think both are horrible. Let me tell you. Jacob Henryman says, let me tell you, I remember my first time getting online, I had to basically learn a whole new different language, but I've actually grown up with it. Everyone write in your favorite AOL Insta name. What do you call it? I am chats. Yeah, someone was Punk Princess 88. What were you? What was your screen name? Oh, Kelly's is going to be good. I bet it was something Backstreet.
I do remember love coming back to my computer in college and having like 5 chat windows open and people.
Oh, yeah.
And then like
finding a chat room of like depressed but kind of like.
And you know what I look forward to? If a girl I liked, it would go from light gray to black when they were back online.
Yes.
So I was like, I know you're online.
And
like,
the door would open.
I was so excited, yeah.
Did the door ever scare you if you were sleeping?
Yes, and you want to know something really bad? If you really wanted to know when someone was there in college, you could make a sound to know when they're there. And so the sound of a cow, because my boyfriend would go moo when he would be online. Oh, the moo!
And people in college would like plug them into their massive stereo systems because you remember when Napster was, you could have play your music.
I downloaded everything.
So like I could hear, 4 rooms down the hall. Yeah, exactly. And you were hoping, I was hoping when I get that it was, a girl I liked. And it wasn't. Well, sometimes it would, but sometimes not. But,
totally.
That's what I always look forward to that and having 5 chat.
So good. The chat rooms.
I remember that.
And then also the games. I think people really remember Lemmings, Oregon Trail. I chose out of Oregon Trail it was 90 kids and 89 chose the Oregon Trail, and I was like, I'll choose the typing class. So Tori. I never got dysentery.
Tori
I never
has died
did any of that. I never did it. I did QWERTY where I had a thing over my hands and was like, missed opportunity. Guys, take the Oregon Trail.
Welcome back to DBL. A photo showing 2 young children aspiring for careers in medicine is getting a lot of reaction on Twitter. Medical Shots is a health-related Twitter account that posted this picture of a little girl wearing pink scrubs that say nurse in training with a little boy holding her hand in green scrubs that say doctor in training. And the internet is on fire with comments. Some say the image is cute, while others are saying it is sexist. So DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. What do you think?
All right, let's get to these comments. Alicia from Facebook says, I would rather see that than little girls walking around in shorty shorts and crop tops. Mazel tov. Can I use that then?
Yes.
Okay, good. Great comment. Yeah, I agree, but the same thing, like, I don't want us to think that anymore, as we're being so progressive with women's rights and the women's movement, I don't want us telling little girls, hey, you have to be a nurse. I tell my nieces, you can be whatever you want to be in this world, in this country, wherever, in this universe. So that's what we need to be pushing towards these kids.
That's cool. SW from YouTube says it's sexist and offensive. There are thousands of very competent, capable female doctors and surgeons. Why promote stereotypes? SW, there's actually more females in medical school than there are males, so you are absolutely right. I was offended, and then I read a lot of your comments, including Radiance Bean, who I love, who's a nurse, and I want to give a shout out. My feeling about this has nothing to do with nurses not being respected. I don't want to get those two conflated, that we're saying a nurse is lower than, and therefore this is offensive. That's not my hypothesis. My hypothesis is I've been a girl, and all the girls I know have seen those reinforced images of blocking your higher potential for decades now. The subtext is always you can't get here, but you can get just to there. So that idea of reinforcing it over and over and over again, there's no need for it. So just that's why I got offended.
Connie from Facebook says, this picture is adorable. The PC police need to find something every day to hate. If you are a girl, be anything you want. If you are a boy, be anything you want. This picture will not affect you, I promise. Connie, I tend to agree with you on that. You know, it'd be different if the picture looked different, like, you know, the girl was banished to the side, or like, you know, oh, get me that instrument. I don't think it was derogatory. I don't think it was draconian, as some people are making it sound. But I do think, Tori, back to Meghan Markle and what she did in that situation of challenging a gender norm there.
Exactly.
So if anything, it may raise the discussion so that you can have that discussion at home and say, you can be a nurse or you can be a doctor. No one's preventing you from being either.
That's what I love. At the end of the day, listen, I respect everyone's opinion. I tend to agree with Tori here, but I love that we're having the conversation, because when we have the conversation, we can break gender norms. You can have those conversations with your kids. I know when I watch Five Little Monkeys jumping on the bed with my daughter, literally all the YouTube videos, it's a, you know, mama called the doctor. It's always this male doctor.
Yeah.
Or even if it is, sometimes it'll be an animal, they'll put a mustache on the animal, so you know it's a male animal. It's bizarre.
And it's just like if we think Steph Curry, right? Even now, this year, a little girl wrote, you never had those shoes in girl sizes. It's not that they're doing on purpose. It's just that people aren't thinking it through to really promote women in that way.
It's just crazy how there's such a pushback, though. Like, why people are like, oh, no, little girls have to be nurses. Like, no, they don't. No one has to be anything. You can be whatever you want. That's the beauty of being in 2019.
There you go. Let's get to Britney Spears. She might have to wait, or you might have to wait to see her live as she takes time off to take care of her family. But a new show is ready to bring her songs to you. Interesting. Raquel, share the details.
Well, Sam, get ready to hear all your favorite Britney Spears hits. The musical Once Upon a One More Time is making its pre-Broadway debut. Now, it's not so much a story about her life, but more a classic take on princesses like Cinderella and Snow White, except this time they're saying, oops, I did it again, and sharing an empowering message for women. The show is heading to Chicago first, replacing Michael Jackson's musical, which was recently canceled. Now, performances start in October.
Wow.
This replacement makes me think, is the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil show next?
Wow, the one in Vegas?
Yep.
Wow.
That's a lot of what's interesting. There are a lot of dancers and performers out of a job then.
I know.
It's so
We'll have to see if people...
Do you agree with that? Do you think it should happen? Do you think they should be taking something like that down?
I don't know.
I think people aren't going to listen to the music the same way.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I have a hard time with it.
Yeah. Well, coming up next on DBL, they're building a new life in the U.S. and our own Bo Davidson helps make an American dream come true for one amazing family. That's next. And this is not a pet, so what the heck is it? Find out the crazy story behind this viral sensation coming up on DBL.
Just wanted to give you guys, first of all, look at this. Ready? Say, is it a dress?
Is it a dress?
No, it's a pantsuit.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
And also,
Does it have pockets?
it does.
Wow! Look at that. Would you should just look at that.
Thank you. Thank you. Just writing in about you guys. People are asking if Loughlin or anyone made a comment yet. Again, this is Felicity Huffman. She's in jail, arrested. We don't know if she's out of custody yet. She and her husband, if you don't know, is William H. Macy. He has not been indicted, or any crimes against him have not been. There's no jail, arrest warrant, nothing for him. So apparently he might have been out of this. Loughlin and her husband, who owns the brand company Massimo, I don't know if you guys know the clothing company Massimo, he has been actually named as someone that was involved. They have not made a comment yet at all, but like super surprising because both of these women were like well beloved. It's Aunt Becky, for God's sakes. It's Aunt Becky.
I'm really upset.
Lulu says it was so sexist, don't care about the color, but the nurse and doctor thing, yes, that's bad. And I really did change my mind after the DBL Nation wrote me in. A lot of nurses saying, why are you saying nurses are a bad thing? Again, it's not that. It's just that why promote the stereotype? Why continue doing that? But I do also understand we were saying that, like, maybe this was just like go nurses, and that's also something to be taken for. So I'm listening to you guys, a little bit on the fence here, so let me know what you guys think. Also, pantsuit.
Welcome back to DBL. Owning your own home. It's the American dream. But for some, it's a dream that may never be a reality. That's where Habitat for Humanity can help. The organization has helped more than 22 million people build or improve the place they call home. Last year, I helped build one of those homes, and earlier this month, I saw this story come full circle. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be checking out this Habitat for Humanity home that I helped build about 8 months ago. And the best part about it, I get to meet the family inside. Let's go check it out. Hi there, Bo Davidson.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm David.
David, great to meet you.
Nice
David,
to meet you too.
I'm a bit in awe right now. I'm looking at your home, and 8 months ago, I was right here sitting on the same slab of concrete, except I was hammering some nails. I was lifting this frame up above your porch here. This is a beautiful home. I mean, how does it feel to be in this home now?
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah?
Because this is my first home to get in America. My home in Congo was burned by rebels.
Burned?
Yeah, and then my dad was killed by rebels. That's why I left my country. I lost everything in my country.
Now that you have your own home, would you say that you have achieved your version of the American dream?
Yes, already. This is my first dream I achieved. And then I want to achieve another dream for my education, to go to school, to become medical interpreter.
Medical interpreter.
Yes.
Did you help build this house?
Yes, I did. 200 hours.
200 hours?
Yes.
It's a lot. It's beautiful.
I did everything.
And you also have to work on your neighbors' homes too. Is that correct?
Yes.
Through Habitat for
I
Humanity?
work for all this house.
Whole street?
Yes.
How soon do you expect to move in?
Very soon, after 3 weeks, I have to move in.
So,
Yes.
David, thank you so much for taking the time with us. And, you know, I'm really inspired by your story. And I got to tell you, I'm so proud to have been a part of this home, knowing that you are the homeowner. And I wonder if you would do me the service of showing me around your home.
Okay, I can show you.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's take a look. Well, we have one thing that I do want to give to you. This is from all of us at Daily Blast Live. This is just a nice little welcome package for you with some things, with some good American treats, some popcorn, all kinds of stuff in here. This is from us to you to welcome you to your new home here in Denver.
Thank you so
There
much.
you go. Oh.
Thank you so much.
Give me a hug, David.
Thank you.
David is incredible. To learn more about how you can help families like David's, visit www.habitatmetrodenver.org. We will be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. A comedian and star of a self-titled sitcom, George Lopez, has been entertaining audiences for years. Well, now he is a judge on World's Most Amazing Dog, a game show streaming right now on Facebook Watch. Earlier, I sat down with George Lopez for today's Chatting with the Stars. George Lopez, welcome to DBL. You are currently traveling with your stand-up special, The Wall, which tackles some of the most important social issues that face our country. Why do you think it's important for our country to take a comedic look at these controversial issues?
Sometimes the best messages are delivered with humor, and at a time where there's so many people who are disenfranchised, the one thing that we share when we don't even share the same beliefs is that we all have the ability to laugh.
Amen. And I have to acknowledge the elephant, or should I say the dog in the room. I hear her name is Mama, Little Mama. Is that Little Mama on your pillow there, George?
Yeah, this is my rescue Mama. I've had Mama about 5 years.
Yay! Good for you, George. Oh, little Mama. Look at her, so resilient. Let's talk about the world's most amazing dog. It's giving pups from across the world a chance to compete paw to paw and fetch, am I right about this, $100,000? So please tell us about the competition and how we can sign up our furry friends for the show.
Yeah, $100,000 grand prize. Go to Facebook Watch and click on World's Most Amazing Dog. It's easy to upload the video, and we're still accepting submissions. It's very entertaining to see a lot of the videos of the dogs, and it's going to be very difficult for myself and Lisa Vanderpump, who's the other judge, to make a decision.
Oh, I can't wait. So 2 questions then. So one, I want to know what you're looking for when you're scoring, but you also mentioned Lisa Vanderpump, who I know very well. She's a dear friend. I love her, and I love that she's a big advocate for animals, as you are. What was it like working with Lisa?
Yeah, well, you know, Lisa, there's nobody like her. Her and I have been great fodder for each other. But, you know, Sam, when you see incredible things and amazing things, it's beyond what anybody really imagines that a dog is able to do. But the one thing that is constant amongst all of the videos submitted from across 36 countries is that the camaraderie between the owner and the dog.
Oh, I can't wait, and I believe it. I mean, I have a rescue dog from Compton. Her name is Baby. But George, before we go, I gotta ask you, does Little Mama have any tricks?
I think maybe protecting her food from all the other dogs is something that she's very good at.
George Lopez, thank you so much for joining us. I adore you, and I cannot wait to watch the show. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Sam. Very kind. Thank you.
Welcome back to DBL. You have to see this dog that's going viral. Meet Yuki, not your typical canine. He's a massive 12-year-old gray wolf. He was saved from a kill shelter at 8 months old by Shy Wolf Sanctuary in Naples, Florida. And after a volunteer posted images of him online, he has become a viral sensation. Yuki appears to look twice the size of this woman, but the volunteer says it's just his fat ankle. We all have one. While Yuki is not up for adoption, people can sponsor him through the sanctuary. Look at Yuki. He looks insanely huge.
You want to know something? I watched a dog whisper once. I'm obsessed with Cesar Millan, and a wolf-dog hybrid came, and he was trying to train him, and he sat there very still, and the wolf smelled, and Cesar said, I've never felt that, because a wolf is so much more primal that the smell is so different. And you saw him just stand there. So they are crazy, amazing wild animals, but he seems like a cutie.
And then I think I saw that same episode where Caesar bit the dog's neck in order to show him he's the alpha.
Dominance, but
because it was a wolf.
Exactly, and that half wolf kind of went like this.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Good.
Crazy.
I know.
So cute though, Yuki. We will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Hi, DBL Nation? Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital team here. I'm tracking all the latest breaking news. Tori, did you want to come talk to me more about this Jussie Smollett thing? So we're tracking the latest, and we've got a reporter in the courthouse from CBS Chicago. His name is Charlie DeMar, and he's been really awesome following this case. So the defense is going to speak to the media on Thursday. Do you think that's a good move or a bad move?
Oh, Garagos?
Yes.
So if you guys don't know, he did the Michael Jackson. Garagos is just a celebrity attorney. It's a fantastic idea. What you need now is a PR leader. And Jussie Smollett, in my opinion, has not done a very good job about doing that for his own PR. Garagos can say a lot about the check. He can confuse people.
Yeah.
He can add stuff in. He's going to make a lot of distractions.
Okay.
It's a fantastic idea for Jussie. I believe Garagos told Jussie to walk like that. If you guys haven't seen
you're probably right.
the moment,
We'll be showing it again.
It's like they walk in a formation, and he's like,
all with their sunglasses on.
and like just like this. And I can't imagine. Maybe Jussie came up with that, but to me that seems like a very organized, a very aggressive approach.
Yeah.
So if you want to use that as a foreshadow, I assume the defense is going to come out against Chicago police. Again, for
Of
Levon,
course,
I think they're going to say about racism and police brutality.
Yeah, so on that
That's
note,
where I feel like they're going to go.
We just learned that they will allow cameras in the courtroom.
Interesting.
So the defense is saying, well, that's great because that's
Yes,
going
they
to
will.
prove all the misinformation that the media has been
Which is what they
reporting,
want.
Which
So
is what they want.
Garagos
so.
now is in control, and image is a big thing, but from that aggressive walk-in, I assume they're going to play this really hard and go after the Chicago police.
Yep.
And there has been some problems with
course.
several people,
Corruption,
but that
yeah.
doesn't mean this isn't one of them.
This isn't true. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean this isn't true.
Right.
So,
So if you
still have
haven't
to say
seen it-
allegedly at this point.
Correct.
He allegedly lied to police, but we'll see.
Yeah,
see what happens
interesting
Thursday.
approach. I think it's an aggressive move. It's almost like choreography.
Aggressive is the word.
Do
It
you know
really
what I
is
mean?
like
It was like sachet.
choreographed, like Beyonce's formation.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, March 12th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Bo, and I'm Sam. Al Jackson is on assignment. Let's get started. We begin with some shocking breaking news. Two big celebs, Full House star Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, the former Desperate Housewives star, are allegedly desperate to get their kids into elite schools. Huffman has been arrested and is in custody after she was indicted, along with dozens of others, in a massive bribery scheme, allegedly paying a lot of money to get their kids into elite schools. Like Yale, Stanford, and USC, authorities claim that Huffman paid $15,000 so that her daughter would be given twice the time to take the SATs and even had her answers corrected by the proctor. Lori Loughlin has also been indicted for allegedly paying $500,000 to have her two daughters labeled as recruited athletes, even though they were not. But don't blame the kids. The indictment says most of the students admitted to the schools that they had no idea. Erica, as I was reporting it, you were shaking your head pretty vigorously.
Yeah, because I texted you and Tori because I really thought that I was reading like the plot line for a resurgence of Desperate Housewives. This is insane. This is completely insane. And for people who think that this is a victimless crime, think about the children who had no one to put $500,000 up for them and perhaps lost their position. Sam, you were a college athlete.
Girl,
how would you feel if you knew that you didn't get your scholarship?
My blood is boiling as we speak because I know the amount of time it took to get myself that athletic scholarship to UCLA. So yeah. Also, scholastically, I know how hard you guys all work to get into college. Can you imagine having twice the amount of time on your SAT and then, oh, if you missed any answers, let me correct those for you.
Yeah, you know, my standardized test scores weren't all that great, and so I had to audition musically to get into Northwestern. That's probably what my saving grace was, if we're really being honest, because I think about now how, if I hadn't gotten in and this had happened, and knowing that someone in Hollywood had bought their way in or faked being an athlete, that's just absurd. It punishes a lot of people.
And how do you think they feel now? Now they're going to be in school. I don't know what's going to happen to them, but they're not going to feel qualified.
Yeah, the athlete one is a little weird to me because what would they do? Be on a team but not be on a team? It was a little weird for me.
I think it was trickery when it came to admissions.
Yeah.
I don't think coaches were involved. I don't think they ever were placed on a team. I think it was just a loophole, and that's it.
Well, I don't think this is that uncommon, maybe this particular circumstances, but it's not uncommon for people giving donations to a particular school to get their kids in. So
BS.
It is BS. It is, because what about that person that they took that spot of that really wanted to get in that school, but they couldn't allow one more person, and that person did everything the right way but couldn't get in?
I don't like it.
And it really shows you how directed we are on the have-nots and never the haves. Because the moment that someone gets in and we don't think that they're qualified to get in because they had some box that they checked as an athlete, as a minority, as someone underprivileged, we're constantly looking at those people like, you took this opportunity, and the entire time we're not looking at the people who are literally buying their kids the opportunity.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
And the last note, I wonder what's going to happen with the Hallmark Channel, because Lori Loughlin's pretty prevalent on the Hallmark Network with all those movies.
That's true. I
wonder
watch
if
them
there's going to be any repercussions for this.
I know. Wow. Well, chime in, DBL Nation. We want to hear from you on this as well. New video in right now of Jussie Smollett showing up to a Chicago courthouse. Let's get to Kelly Schuberth with the latest.
Sam, a hearing in Chicago for Jussie Smollett's case ended just minutes ago. We're told Jussie didn't even have to show up for today's hearing, but here he is strutting into the courtroom right before it started. Now, this is the first time we've seen the actor since he was indicted on 16 counts after police say he lied about being the victim of a hate crime. In today's hearing, the judge decided he will allow cameras to be in the courtroom during the case. Jussie's team reportedly says they welcome the cameras because of the misinformation that has been leaked to the media. Sam, Jussie's legal team also says they plan to speak to the media on Thursday. I'll keep you updated.
Thank you, Kelly, because this is all breaking as we speak. We are live. We just found out that cameras are going to be allowed in that courtroom. How important do you think that is?
I think it's very important because I think Hayden's emotions were so high when this whole thing came out. And really what we saw was Superintendent Eddie Johnson really kind of act as judge and jury when he told what the indictment was. Like, there seemed to not be any wiggle room as to what actually went down. So I think that they're very smart to have the cameras in there so that they can get their side of it too.
Let's have some transparency all around.
And let's be honest, the grand jury has 16 federal indictments. 16. This is not just Eddie. I mean, I know Eddie's spoken very candidly about this, but we're talking about a grand jury of 16 indictments. Let's see how this thing plays out. This is coming in there awfully cocky.
I'm glad that we can. He did. A lot of people are talking about that strut that you're speaking of right now. But I'm glad that we can all watch it, so to speak, because I don't want to see more headlines where people are just somewhat, because they didn't see it for themselves, they kind of make up their own narrative.
Well, this looks like the second thing Jussie choreographed in Chicago the last couple weeks.
Ooh.
Allegedly. Whoa, shut it down in here. Wow. All right, I guess we'll have to follow this story.
Would you have rather had a gasp?
No, I'd rather have silence. The gasp is a little off-putting.
Okay. Well, today is a special anniversary. The World Wide Web, get this, turns 30. How many of you remember this sound? Yeah, that's off-putting. Google is marking the occasion with this doodle, paying homage to a vintage computer, complete with a CD-ROM drive, clunky keyboard, and an old-school monitor. But it's that modem connection that made all the difference. And it was this man, English software engineer Tim Berners-Lee, who on this date in 1989 wrote a paper that detailed the creation of the World Wide Web, a universally accepted way of accessing the internet. And now, 30 years later, the whole world has changed. But this got us asking, what do you remember about your first experiences? And DBL, chime in. We want to hear from you too about your first experiences using the World Wide Web.
First off, I can't believe the whole world doesn't know that guy's name, because I don't even know that.
I know.
Which is crazy. My first experience, I think, was in grammar school, where you shoot the buffalo, the Oregon game.
Oregon Trail.
Boom, that was it.
Oregon Trail.
I always used to go big and starve to death.
Oh, Erica, did you have like an AIM chat name?
I don't remember,
I don't
honestly. I'm sure it was something like Cottontail.
Why?
But that was my nickname.
It was?
Yeah,
Cute.
Cottontail.
Like a bunny?
Yeah, because I was always in perpetual motion, like hopping around. Yeah,
Like
but
the
I do
Energizer
remember
bunny.
being on the internet, like at midnight or something, and my mom picked up the phone, and I was like on in the
'cause you did
basement in the chat
disconnect.
room. Yeah,
Yep.
and she like tore me a new one.
Get
like
off
it
the
was.
phone.
Oh, she's like, what are you doing? It's the middle of the night. It was a big deal.
Do you have any memories?
Just remember how long it took to download anything. You know, now like you pick up the phone, you send something, and you're calling someone, you say, you got it, because it comes like this. We were waiting an incessant amount of time just to get anything, a document, an MP3, whatever, back in the Napster days.
Yes.
How long that took, and hope you didn't get a virus, which I did.
Oh, I used to get viruses too.
So yeah, those are my memories.
And I remember having to learn the language. I remember in high school having to like write www, HTTP before that, / colon. I remember, I mean, this wasn't a language that any of us knew, so essentially you had to learn it. It was bizarre.
Was Oregon Trail on the internet or just a game?
No, I think it was it did have to do with the World Wide Web. That and Carmen Sandiego. No, I think both of them.
Did you
Oregon
ever get
Trail.
Dysentery?
Yeah, all the time. and broken wagon wheels all the time.
Yeah, I love it. All right, well, DBL is live. We will bring you breaking news as soon as it happens, of course. Coming up, what the heck is this giant creature? We'll have all the details on this viral superstar. A crazy building blitz has turned into a dream come true. Meet the amazing family who has a new home thanks in part to our very own Bo Davidson. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. You're fired up with comments about this photo of preschoolers in scrubs. Is it sexist? Is it cute? DBL Nation will hear from you next on DBL.
DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital team here. I am talking about all the stories we're going to be talking about in the breaks this hour. So let's take a quick look-see. First up, Wendy Williams launches a substance abuse hotline. After that, we're going to be talking about Netflix is releasing a ton of interactive content. Have you guys ever tried any of that interactive stuff? I'm interested to see how that works. Let me know if you're interested in it. Let's go see what's going on at the desk.
All her Hallmark movies.
Hey guys!
We are continuing our conversation. Sorry about that.
There were coaches that were involved in this.
So there were.
Yes, so I was just going to let Sam know that the head coach of UCLA soccer has been placed on administrative leave. So I saw that right as you were having that conversation about UCLA, so I was like, I need to let Sam know that.
That is alarming because how do you somehow fake being a good athlete? I mean,
That's what I was confused about. Like you're getting in for a soccer scholarship.
But maybe the athlete just signed off. We're just speculating. Maybe the coach just signed off and then they never really had to partake. Again, it was just to get into the school.
I'm
or
confused.
maybe they
and I
try
kind of
for
want
the
to
team
hear.
and they're not on the team, but they use it just to qualify to get into the school.
That's
Once
bizarre.
they're in, they don't make the team. So too bad.
I want to hear from
bizarre.
them personally.
There are, in my school, there were legacy kids who were on the team, but they didn't take up a scholarship.
And they probably, like walk-ons.
Yeah.
They probably were good. You still have to. These kids never had any rowing experience.
And
None.
the point is they didn't need the money. They didn't need the scholarship. They just need to get into the school.
Yeah.
So the money wasn't relevant to them to keep the scholarship. It was just to get into school.
But yeah, and Jeff brought up a great point: is how is this going to impact their careers? Are you going to look at Lori Loughlin different? Is this going to impact her Hallmark channel? What about Felicity Huffman?
What do you do with the students? Do you keep them?
They said they didn't know in some cases.
But do you keep them in the school?
I don't. Maybe retest them to see if they're qualified to be in school. But how embarrassing!
They
They're like
would've been
already like celebrities' kids, and then to be labeled that. I wouldn't go to school there anymore. If I were the kid, I'd go somewhere else.
That is just so bizarre.
I know.
It's like it wasn't even enough to get into the
over
school.
yourself.
Like,
Get
what
over
in the
yourself.
World? That is.
I know.
That
Probably
is
went
beyond.
to the best private schools,
That is
right?
beyond.
Jeez. Welcome back to DBL. A photo showing two young children aspiring for careers in medicine is getting a lot of reaction on Twitter. Medical Shots is a health-related Twitter account that posted this picture of a little girl wearing pink scrubs that say nurse in training with a little boy holding her hand in green scrubs that say doctor in training. And the internet is on fire with comments. Some say the image is cute while others are pointing out that it is sexist. So DBL Nation, what do you think?
Get right to these comments. Erica from Facebook says, I love this. We all know that men and women alike can be doctors and nurses. Do we need to make everything negative? I agree with you, Erica. I don't have a problem with this, really. I think that it has raised the dialogue. It's raised the discussion. We have shows out there like Grey's Anatomy that show female doctors. So I say, if anything, you can pull a Meghan Markle and say, hey, I don't like how this looks. I'm going to write in. I'm going to change things. You have the ability to be anything you want to be.
Well, Marco from YouTube says, I am an RN. Every time I tell someone what I do for a living, I get the same response. And as if they never met a male nurse before. And this photo speaks to why. Marco, I really appreciate your perspective. One, let's not sleep on our nurses because that takes an entirely extraordinary skill set.
Yes, it does.
Like trying to pick my words. Hi to my sister-in-law. But yeah, I think that I understand what people are saying, but you also have to understand we have a whole generation out there of Doc McStuffin lovers who firmly believe that every doctor is a black woman. There is this amazing comedian, I can't remember his name, but he does a whole thing on it. And I think the times are kind of changing.
Erica, you stole my point. I wrote Doc McStuffins right on here. That's what I wrote on there. Glenn from Facebook says, nope, looks good to me. This generation of being offended by everything better wake up. The world doesn't revolve around them. Woof. I would have sweetened that a little bit, but I get what you're saying. I'm with you a little bit on this one. I was going to make the Doc McStuffin reference. My son loves that show.
Yep.
Does he think he needs to be a little black girl to be a doctor or a nurse, which is a hippo? Does he think he needs to be a hippo to be a nurse? I mean, come on. We need to lighten up a little bit. If you don't like it, buy your daughter a jacket that says future doctor. That's all. Just switch it up. I don't know if we need to be so offended about everything all the time.
All right, and Loretta from Twitter says the photo would have been more cute if the scrubs were switched. It would have reflected where we are now versus then. Listen, rather than saying that people are offended, I think it just pushes people to not be complacent. I think it pushes us, as you said, Bo, to have conversation. If it bothers you, you can take action like Meghan Markle did. I do see these subliminal messages happen with kids, though, because every time I watch the 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed and Mama called the doctor with Sophie, it's always a male doctor. It is, at least all the YouTube videos that I've seen. So I do see the subliminal messages. I'm glad we're having the conversation. I'd rather people not say, stop being offended. If anything, just encourage people to talk about it, because I think that's where change happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, watch a little Doc McStuffins.
I know, I love Doc
There you go.
McStuffins. Yeah, you got to balance it out. You got to balance it out. But thank you for writing in. Britney Spears lovers. You might have to wait to see her live as she takes time off to take care of her family. Well, good for her. But a new show is ready to bring her songs to you. Raquel Villanueva has the details at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Get ready to hear all your favorite Britney Spears hits. The musical Once Upon a One More Time is making its pre-Broadway debut. Now, it's not so much a story about her life, but more a take on classic princesses like Cinderella and Snow White, except this time they're saying, oops, I did it again, and sharing an empowering message for women. The show is heading to Chicago first, replacing Michael Jackson's musical, which was recently canceled, and performances start in October.
Thank you, Raquel.
You know, if they're canceling Michael Jackson musicals, are they going to cancel Michael Jackson's Cirque du Soleil show in Vegas? You have to think about the broader global implications of what this is going to do to his franchise. I mean, that puts people out of jobs, too.
The dancers.
You know what I mean? I'm just wondering if this is where we're headed, if everything's going to be scaled back now.
I'm sure ticket sales will decrease because of that.
I think money,
documentary.
It's going to be whether or not they're making money anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Coming up on DBL, a bizarre statue honoring a famous athlete isn't what it seems. We will reveal who he is. Also, a crazy building blitz has turned into a dream come true, meeting the amazing family who has a new home thanks in part to our own Bo Davidson, coming up next on DBL.
Nation, I am pulling up my story that I'm here to talk to you about. It's about Wendy Williams. She's actually launching a substance abuse hotline. Now, Williams has always talked about how she had struggled with addiction in her 20s and 30s and now wants to make a resource available for everyone. So I'm here to read you off the number. It's 1-888-5-HUNTER. So that's 1-888-548-6837. Now, it'll provide resources to anyone having a drug addiction or substance abuse, and not only them, their family and loved ones, and they can also access any public information that they want through this website. Now, it's a 24-hour hotline. That's what she told viewers today, and it will also have recovery coaches, and I think it's a really good idea to have these lines because the more awareness you put out there and the more people have access to this, it makes you more willing to seek help. Because sometimes that first step is just picking up the phone and calling, more so than trying to get out or admitting to anyone else. So good on Wendy Williams. Let me know what you think, DBL Nation, about this new hotline, and I'll put it anywhere you need if you want to hear it again. That's 1-888-5-HUNTER. See ya.
Welcome back to DBL. Owning your own home. It's the American dream. But for some, it's a dream that may never be a reality. That's where Habitat for Humanity can help. The organization has helped more than 22 million people build or improve the place they call home. Last year, I helped build one of those homes, and earlier this month, I saw this story come full circle. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be checking out this Habitat for Humanity home that I helped build about 8 months ago. And the best part about it, I get to meet the family inside. Let's go check it out. Hi there, Bo Davidson.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm David.
David, great to meet you.
Nice
David,
to meet you too.
I'm a bit in awe right now. I'm looking at your home, and 8 months ago, I was right here sitting on the same slab of concrete, except I was hammering some nails. I was lifting this frame up above your porch here. This is a beautiful home. I mean, how does it feel to be in this home now?
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
Because this is my first home to get in America. My home in Congo was burned by rebels.
Burned?
Yeah, and then my dad was killed by rebels. That's why I left my country. I lost everything in my country.
Now that you have your own home, would you say that you have achieved your version of the American dream?
Yes, already. This is my first dream I achieved. And then I want to achieve another dream for my education, to go to school, to become medical interpreter.
Medical interpreter?
Yes.
Did you help build this house?
Yes, I did. 200 hours.
200 hours?
Yes.
It's a lot. It's beautiful.
I did everything.
And you also have to work on your neighbors' homes too. Is that correct?
Yes.
Through Habitat for
I
Humanity?
work for all this house.
Whole street?
Yes.
How soon do you expect to move in?
Very soon, after 3 weeks, I have to move in.
So,
Yes.
David, thank you so much for taking the time with us. And, you know, I'm really inspired by your story. And I got to tell you, I'm so proud to have been a part of this home, knowing that you are the homeowner. And I wonder if you would do me the service of showing me around your home.
Okay, I can show you.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's take a look. Well, we have one thing that I do want to give to you. This is from all of us at Daily Blast Live. This is just a nice little welcome package for you with some things, with some good American treats, some popcorn, all kinds of stuff in here. This is from us to you to welcome you to your new home here in Denver.
Thank you so
There
much.
you go. Oh.
Thank you so much.
Give me a hug, David.
Thank you.
David's story is incredible. To learn more about how you can help families like David's, visit www.habitatmetrodenver.org. Coming up on DBL, is this the most bizarre statue you've ever seen? There's a hilarious reason for it you won't want to miss. Also, our favorite puppy pitchman is back with a new dog that needs a forever home. Maybe you can help. Up next on Daily Blast Live.
Thanks for writing in. A lot of you are talking about the cheating scandal or the college scam that's going on. So I'm just going to read a bunch of you all's comments to let you know that we are listening, we are reading what you are writing in. Because like we said, you are our fifth host, you are our viewer, and we love when you guys comment. Sue Bruce from YouTube says, this college scam is so wrong in so many ways. Yeah, it's Hollywood, or you can say it's privilege being privileged. A lot of people out there, a lot of you all worked hard to get into college. We didn't have mommies and daddies that could pay $500K, $6 million to help get us in college, but it's not the kids' fault. Marty Dottie from Facebook says, obviously not so stellar if they have to bribe colleges, and intelligence is passed down on the mother side, LOL. Didn't know that. Interesting. Jeff Rice from Facebook, as with all rich people, follow the money. Then you will know we are all not equal. I always say that all the time, follow the money. My mom used to say that as a kid, follow the money, follow the money. Anytime, any type of scandal, anything's going on, you always follow the money. Thanks, Jeff, for writing in. Kate Bacon says, let's not just focus on the stupid celebs. Let's focus on the institutions that took the money. It takes two. I agree, Kate. Great comment. I think you're looking at schools like Yale. I think that Yale, Wake Forest, USC, UCLA was another one of the schools. We're talking about the top schools in the country, top schools in the nation, maybe even the world, taking bribe money to let kids in 2019. It's so disrespectful to what we call common people who have to work our butts off to get into college. Deronda Huffman, watching from St. Louis, says, this is a long-time tradition with the rich and famous. Yes, it is, and now it's something that's coming to the light, and we all can know about it, everyone. I think that's why they don't want the internet to be accessible to everyone, because they want to keep us stupid in a lot of ways. But I feel as though now that this has come to the light via social media, I think we all need to be talking about this. The institutions need to be hit hard as well. Brooks Russell, watching in Portland, says the University of Spoiled Children involved in the scandal. USC, you're writing in from Portland, so you're probably Oregon Ducks or Oregon State fan playing in the Pac-12. But there are a lot of hardworking people who got into USC on their own merit. My older sister went to USC on not a track scholarship. She got some sort of academic scholarship, but you know she did it on her own merit. Last but not least. Let's see, Lee Steele, I'm disgusted in Lori paying $500K to get her kids into school. She was supposed to be a goody-goody. Hey, I don't put anything past anybody anymore, Lee. But thank you all for writing in. Keep it coming. Keep watching. We got some great stuff coming up on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. Every week, our favorite puppy pitchman, Roman, introduces us to a new dog up for adoption. And every week, we try to find that dog a forever home. But this week, we have a very special pup up for adoption. And DBL Nation, we need your help finding her a family. Meet Trixie in today's Roman's Rescues.
Hi, everyone. This is my friend Trixie here. She's maybe 3, but a super sweet girl. She's honestly had a rough life. Trixie's a pickle.
Yeah, why do you say she's had a rough life?
I mean, she's honestly been bred a lot, and she has a lot of scars on her face.
She does.
But Trixie's a really sweet girl. She really needs a home. A really good home that wants Trixie.
Like to love her.
That will love her and give her exactly everything she'll want. Adopt this sweet Trixie.
Say thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Roman, I love you. Yes, let's please get Trixie a home. I mean, we've had a pretty good track record on this show.
Roman's just so adorable. I mean, he's just great at what he does. So I hope Trixie gets a home very quickly. I think Roman does a great job of pitching it.
Maybe a little home for Lawson, a little animal for Lawson.
Not while I have an apartment.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. Like,
and you have a new baby.
Yeah, it's not for me right now. It's not for me.
Okay.
When I get that backyard, we'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk, Roman. We'll talk.
And you will get that backyard.
Yes.
And you'll call Roman directly.
Yeah, Roman, what's up? I need a pup.
I can't wait for that to happen. That's exciting. Let's get Jeff a backyard. If you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on Daily Blast Live.
Michael Cohen's unlikely jailmates? We'll tell you all about the familiar faces he could end up bunking with behind bars. Plus, we have harrowing new video of people cheating death. You won't believe the close calls caught on camera. And a world-famous athlete is finally honored with his own statue. Can you figure out who he is? Find out when DBL comes back.
Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Both. Who am I?
Jussie Smollett.
Smollett.
Welcome to the welcome to the break. I don't know. I just feel like having fun during these breaks. We're gonna get to the fifth host. You all wrote in about the picture about the little girl with the "I want to be a nurse" and then the little boy with the "I want to be a doctor" shirt. So let's get to your fifth host. Read some more of you guys' comments. Let's get to it. Coco from Facebook says they could have thought it through better. Cute, yes. Misogynistic, oh yes. But look, it's so cute. I think it is cute. I think you're gonna be offended if you're looking into it. But at the same time, I'm open about having nieces and little sisters. I would like nowadays my thinking is like be whatever you want to be. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a doctor. You can be whatever you want to be. But I don't like how we're trying to reinforce gender stereotypes. SW from YouTube says it is sexist and offensive. There are 10,000s of very competent, capable female doctors and surgeons. I agree. In the earlier shows, Tori Shulman said that there are more women in med school than men. So they are capable. I think, like I said, anyone can be offended by this picture. But keep writing in. Let us know what you think. Keep watching DBL. See you guys.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. We are live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. And if you're just joining us, we are following a big story involving some Hollywood stars. Full House star Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman from Desperate Housewives have been indicted along with dozens of others in a massive bribery scheme. They allegedly paid large amounts of money to get their kids into elite schools. Authorities claim that Huffman paid $15,000 so that her daughter would get more time to take the SATs and have her answers corrected by the proctor. Lori Loughlin is accused of paying $500,000 to have her two daughters labeled as recruited athletes, even though they were not. And the indictment says most of the students involved had no idea that their parents or what their parents were allegedly doing. That is heart-wrenching to know that these students are now the ones at the end of the day taking the fall. What do you think is going to happen to their career? You brought this up earlier. Lori Loughlin is known pretty much as like the good girl on the Hallmark Channel. I watch her in all those movies. You think it'll impact her career?
And that's what the Hallmark Channel is, good people. They want a good image. They want good things happening on that network. And Lori Loughlin represents that, or she did. Yeah. Is this going to affect her on the Hallmark Channel? Are they going to invite her back after doing this? I would like to hear from both people and hear their side of the story as well. They might have a totally different side that maybe explains this, but it's going to be tough to do.
Let's say the allegations are all true. What would you want to hear from Lori Loughlin and from Felicity Huffman? Would you want to hear ownership? Would you? What do they need to do?
If it turns out that it's true, I don't know what you can do. Like, I mean, you have privilege to the nth degree. Your child wants for nothing. You're able to put $500,000 forward, and that wasn't enough. Like, to me, what is that?
Yeah.
Why? I mean,
If they
that's so many opportunities taken away from other people.
Completely taken away from other people. If they ask for forgiveness, do you think people will forgive them?
I don't think so. I mean, this is what I call Hollywood hubris. It's they live in a bubble and they think they can get away with anything they want. Who I'm concerned for now is the kids, because you know that their peers are going to say, you had no merit being here. You had no right. Jeff, you wouldn't want to go to school with someone like that, because then you're going to think they're always going to be looking at me thinking I didn't deserve it. And now maybe the kids know that they didn't have a right to get in and just got it because of their parents. So would you stay at UCLA? Would you stay at USC knowing how you're going to be treated, knowing you didn't deserve it?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Especially knowing what the other kids are already going to think of me being privileged. You know, and then having this stigma on you, I don't want to deprive them of their education by any means.
You took up a spot for one of my friends who had better grades than you, and now you're taking their place.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we generally look at people who just have really great grades, maybe not the money, and say that you don't deserve to be here. So that's kind of a little turn in that one.
A little bit.
Amen, Erica. We have to show you what went down on the Late Show last night. It's so good. Host James Corden pulled an elaborate prank on soccer star David Beckham. James created a fake and awful statue of Beckham and passed it off as the real one. You gotta see this.
I mean, look at my chin. The only thing that's good is the hair, and that's about it. Look at my bum.
Yeah, again, I'm telling you, that's in motion. That's how it looks.
It definitely doesn't look like that.
I mean, no, they are.
OMG. We were laughing out loud watching it earlier. Do you think you could have been as polite as he was?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think, especially when he's in private talking to his friend, he's like, hey, what do you have to watch the whole video, by the way. It's only 9 minutes long. It's hilarious. It's worth it, I promise. But I got to give credit to David Beckham where it's due. He kept his cool the whole time, was polite to everyone, even though there were actors trying to be rude to him. He kept his cool. I mean, look, the thing has 3 teeth. The statue has 3 teeth. He's one of the best looking guys in the world.
Great question. Of you three, what feature of yours would you not want to see exaggerated? What would mortify you?
Oh man, my nose is already big. If they plump that thing up, I'd be like, come on guys, what's going on?
What about you, Erica? Would there be anything you would be mortified to see if it didn't look like you?
Well, I have feet that are like skis, so if they...
I do too.
Me too, Erica, me too. And hands. I'd be really embarrassed if they put big hands and feet on me. I'm really embarrassed.
Did you guys see Ronaldo, you know, the soccer star? His actual one, we have a photo of it. This was real. This isn't even a joke right now. Look at the one. That's
real.
That's real.
I know.
And then they redid it. They redid it, yes. But that was a real one that no prank involved.
I know. You know, that's some hater stuff right there.
I know.
That is real hater stuff.
So good. You guys have to see it, though.
Yes.
Check it out. Disney fans get excited because the new Aladdin trailer just dropped. Stephanie Jones has the story, and it is coming in hot.
That's right, Sam. It's a whole new world because the new trailer for Disney's live-action remake of Aladdin is here. It brings the 1992 classic film to life, and we even get to see Will Smith bust a move as the magic genie. Check this out.
Watch this.
Watch out! You done wound me up. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my palace?
Aladdin hits theaters on May the 24th.
So, thank you so much, Stephanie. A lot of people were giving it some high criticism, but now when they've seen the trailer, they're all on board.
I think it looks great. Disney's doing a great job right now.
I was on board from the beginning. I didn't drink any of the haterade. I thought Will Smith was going to crush it. Everyone's like, he's not blue. I was like, we don't even know who he is yet. Let's give it a chance. Now we did, and people are on board.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, Erica.
I was apathetic then. I'm apathetic now.
Okay, all right. Yep.
Keeping it right here, Erica.
There is a new movement, very important, you guys, sweeping the internet called #IamNotOK. It is reminiscent of #MeToo. Actress Evan Rachel Wood started it all by posting images from an old photo shoot with the caption, "The day of this photo shoot, I was so weakened by an abusive relationship, I was emaciated, severely depressed, and could barely stand. I fell into a pool of tears and was sent home for the day." Wow. Well, now the hashtag has taken off with many people tweeting their own stories of domestic violence. You can see a few on your screen. Now, while it's important to bring awareness to this issue and share stories, it's also important to get help or talk to someone. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. And this hashtag has really evolved into something bigger and has inspired us here at DBL to open up about moments when we haven't been okay. Here's mine. So here's a photo, an ID badge. That's my ID badge that I took here about a year and a half ago, and I look smiley and happy. I look at that photo and I cringe because I don't see any light behind my eyes. I was probably the most depressed I've ever been, and I would literally drive here to the studio and pray that I'd be hit by a car. And that's the honest truth. So we just have to remember that when we see certain images of people smiling or you think that they have it all, that they're really hurting inside. So I'm just so happy that she is making it okay to say, I am not okay. And Erica, you have an image too, am I right?
I do, but I do want to comment, Sam, because the second time that I met you was like, what, a month after you had given birth to Sophie, and you were so together. I never in a million years would have known that you were struggling the way that you were struggling. So when people say, you know, you can have that smile on your face but no light, you know that. You don't see the light, and that's really important that people understand that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because you had it, girl. I was convinced you had it all together.
Wow.
So.
Well, yeah, scary, very scary. You want to share your image?
Yeah. So this one, this was the first time. So this is in my locker room at the Nuggets Arena, Pepsi Center. It's actually the first time that I publicly was out in public without my wedding ring on. So I had to go to work that day knowing that like my life was completely falling apart. And the weird thing was, for some reason, like I kept getting compliments that day.
Wow.
And I was like, all I wanted to do was just go home and like hide underneath my bed. And I kept thinking like, well, maybe the worse I feel, the better I look. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was really strange that people thought that I was doing well.
What would you say to that girl looking back at her now?
Girl, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more than okay. So yeah, sometimes your biggest
you just
setbacks.
said that because I don't have a photo, but Erica, at the time in my life when things weren't going well, I wrote a song called "It's Gonna Be Okay." Part of being an artist is the therapy of writing, and you know my lyric was, "I'll keep on keeping on, bow my head to pray, knowing down in my soul it's gonna be okay." I had to tell myself that.
Oh, you
and
do?
that's why I wrote it. So when I just heard you say that, bam, it just light went off for all of us. I think we've had those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I applaud you guys and I applaud this hashtag and things like that. I just don't want people catching on to something that they don't know too much about. I've been through my hard times. I've hit rock bottom and I've come back up. My wife has had very similar things to you. She had postpartum depression. I don't like to dig through my past and find a photo that represents my rock bottom. I like to focus more on the future, learn from your past, but point to the future and know where your life is going to be headed. Think positively. I wish there was a hashtag for that because, listen, I'm not trying to knock this at all. I applaud you guys for sharing and I applaud everyone on the internet for sharing. I think that's the first step, but always be positive, always look to the future. There's always going to be brighter times.
I love that you're saying that, but I have to say, when you're that dark, you don't see those brighter times.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
You do not see it. And I think the one thing I would have wanted to heard back then was, hey, Sam, it's okay to not be okay, because I was so ashamed that I wasn't okay. I was so ashamed that I wanted to be hit by a car when I had a beautiful young daughter waiting for me at home. So I think I love what you're saying, Jeffrey. I do. And I love your positivity. I just think that some people out there, they don't even hear it, and they just want to be told, you're going to be okay, it's going to be okay, and it's okay not being okay. And I think that's what that hashtag does.
I don't want to make it negative.
And I
you know
get
what
it.
I mean? Like, I'm feeling negative, so I'm going to look on the internet with this hashtag and surround myself with all this negativity. That's not healthy.
I don't know if that's what it's about. I think that for me, I feel a responsibility to say that's what was actually happening when you thought that I was the most popular girl in the NBA arena standing on that thing, like on that stage. Everybody wanted that position, and I had it, and I wanted to die on that floor.
Right.
So like when people see things, it's like that's the reason why it's so important to have transparency, because we're in such an Instagram society. Everything is so aesthetic, and you look at a picture like that and you're like, well, I want to be that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Justin Bieber did yesterday, which is reaching out and saying, I am not perfect. I don't have it all like you think I do. I may drive Lambos, but I'm depressed. I need your prayers. I need your help. help.
Yeah. And you know what I think the next step is? Exactly what you said. It's almost like first you have to acknowledge you're not okay, and then, flood them with love and positivity
trust
and
me,
resources.
Mine wasn't overnight. It was years
I know.
on end.
You put in the work.
Right. So you have to know that you want to change. So again, I'm not diminishing this. It's just I want someone to tell you, if you're feeling this way at home, that there are going to be brighter days. It's always darkest before dawn. Your life will turn around.
Yeah, and we do have resources, I believe, on our social feeds. So please check those out, and you will be okay. And it's okay to not be okay. Coming up on DBL, a wild video is going viral and has people wondering how no one was hurt. You've got to see it to believe it. And this is not a pet, so what the heck is it? Find out the crazy story behind this furry giant coming up on DBL. Really great last block. We covered a lot of different stories. We laughed when it came to Beckham, and then we cried when it came to some of the new hashtag. Stephen Hill, damn Cobb is making Sam show emotions today. Am I emotionless? I think I'm pretty emotional. But yeah, I definitely...
They said emotionless?
No, Cobb is making Sam show emotions today. I'm just being silly. Like, I feel like I always show emotion, but yeah, today it definitely strikes a chord when I see that photo of me. It's bizarre because I feel like I'm looking at a different person.
I remember Sam too, and this is just a tangent of it too, but I've got a friend who works at the VA in Indiana, and he was talking about how, because he works in mental health in the VA, how there are people who were trying to call in to the suicide hotline, and they weren't, the calls weren't even being answered. So when you think about that, it's not okay. Like, it's important to act and to have the resources available when you need them.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, we need to have a lot more resources here in this country in comparison to other countries. Jacob Henry chimes in. I agree. It took me years to overcome my depression. It took like 10 years to overcome it, but now I'm in a very happy place. Jacob Henry, I'm so happy to hear that.
Great job.
Naomi, I agree with how Jeff thinks, and I do realize each person has a different way of dealing with it. I've had my dark moments, but I realize that God had me suffer so I can help others. What a selfless way to look at that, Naomi.
Yeah.
Wow, because then you're of service to
That's
people.
great, Naomi.
Yeah,
That's
thank
great.
you for
We're out
chiming
of time,
in.
otherwise I'd follow that up. A great comment.
Welcome back to DBL. We have to talk about some crazy videos that are trending. They're all situations where people are cheating death. Take a look at this. It's a giant fireball. 2 officers from Georgia sprang into action right before a car went up in flames. Just seconds earlier, when they pulled the car over, it was on fire. One officer grabbed a fire extinguisher. He was able to put it out in enough time to drag the driver out since he was trapped inside. Then it burst into flames. Wow. Today, the cops are being awarded the Life-Saving Medal Award. Well deserved. This next video comes from London, England. A gusty 70-mile-an-hour wind narrowly missed a man strolling on the sidewalk. Wow, let's see that again. Okay, the bricks fall right behind him. Wow, and he safely walks away uninjured. Looks like he was super scared, though, from another angle. He's running from the falling debris. No one was hurt, but it took the fire department 2 hours to clean up. Yes. We want to warn you about this next video. It's pretty scary, but we assure you no one was seriously injured. So let's take a look. A high school soccer game was interrupted by high winds when a light pole fell. Yes, on a referee. He broke 2 bones in one leg, and he injured his foot. He will need 1 more surgery, but again, considering what happened, he is okay. Wow.
That last one is
Yeah,
very
let's look at it
scary.
one more time. That's unbelievable. Whew. Very scary. Do we have time to discuss, or do we have to go? We have 2 minutes.
You know when you do that high step, that high knee thing, that something was really coming for you, because like that is just a natural reaction when you like jump.
Spidey senses in those type of situations.
Well, it's like when you're in a car accident. I know when I've been in a car accident, like the first instinct was for me to jump out of the car, because then I knew that if I jumped out of the car, something in there was just like jump and run, like just get out.
Yeah.
So I think you just have that like high stepping energy because your adrenaline takes over. You want to make sure everything works.
Any experiences where you felt like you cheated death?
I don't know if No, I don't think that, like, to that degree where I look back and I could have been killed. But
right.
I would, like, the first thing I thought about was, what if that guy took one more second to brush his teeth or change his shirt one last time? Or, like, I don't know. I just think there's an energy out there. Call me crazy. Maybe somebody saved them and pushed them a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I believe in those things.
Yeah, I think it's divine intervention a lot of times.
Agree.
I mean, you're just, you know, you could say lucky, you could say blessed, but, you know, I was in Vail this past weekend. I flipped probably 7 times, and watching my fiance down the mountain who tore her MCL, my keys completely came out. Had no keys, nothing. And then today I get a call and they found my keys in that mountain, if you can believe it.
What?
So you just never know, what divine providence there is. So
that's crazy.
I know, but
no
rather than
injuries?
the key, no, not for me. For her, she tore her MCL.
Okay?
Yeah, but I mean, that's what you don't realize, And we here in Denver, we're maybe have 70-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow. You have to think about what's going to fall on you. You know what I mean? You have to be looking out for these things. But I know what you're talking about, that high stepping energy. It's like you can almost see it happen before it happens.
Yeah.
And then you just take off and do whatever you can to, fight or flight.
And it slows down too, right? Wow.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Whew. DBL Nation, we want to hear from you.
I want to hear more of Bo's story.
I know.
I just can't believe the keys were found.
I can't believe you're worried about
the
your
entire
keys.
mountain. Yeah. Well, I had to be, yeah.
One less thing to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, I'm talking you in the break.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to discuss with Bo, but if you have any of those near-life or near-death experiences, share them with us. Coming up on DBL, would you have what it takes to do what one brave couple did to help others? The story coming up in today's Heart Threads. And what about this crazy woman? That's not a pet. So why is she hanging out with an animal that's twice her size? Coming up on DBL.
It's Lex and Brooke, like trying to scooch over closer. We're here with the DVL digital team, giving you guys more top trending stories during the breaks here at Daily Blast Live. Really scary videos that makes my stomach turn seeing all of those. Really scary, but luckily no one is hurt. So have a cool story for you guys. It's coming from BGR.com, and it's about Netflix, obviously everyone's favorite thing. And they're going to start doing a different type of movies in Netflix that they are going to start producing, and it's going to have a choose your own adventure theme. So you'll be able to decide what the character does, where the character goes, how the story might end. They're going to start doing more interactive features. So kind of interesting. If you guys saw it, Black Mirror, I don't know if you watched it.
I've heard of it.
So I watched, Black Mirror did like a interactive movie. It's called Bandersnatch. Totally check it out. I watched it. It was super fun. It actually exceeded my expectations because with the interactiveness, I thought it would be slow and it would stop. But it actually flowed really well. And they have hours and hours worth of content. So DVL Nation, write us in if you guys like it, if you guys are going to try it, and what you guys are watching on Netflix right now. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about helping others. Watch how a couple battled the snow to feed stranded drivers. This couple hiked through the snow to bring food to stranded motorists. Jade and Quentin Sell were stuck in an Oregon traffic jam for 3 hours. They made it home, but learned the next morning that many hadn't.
We heard that people were still stuck, and we
thought, well, we should bring them sandwiches and, do whatever we can to, help out.
With their dogs, they bought supplies and walked back to the freeway. They gave the food and water to grateful drivers, some of whom offered money.
They're like, how much? And we're like, how much? What are you talking about? Free? Like.
One driver gave them $100, which Jade and Quentin spent on more food. They were impressed by how the drivers were looking out for each other.
Oh, we don't need food, but they need food. That they're hypoglycemic. There's a baby down back there, so like people out there are like just the ideal example of humanity.
The couple didn't expect any reward for their actions. They just did what they would want others to do for them.
So rewarding, just being able to love on people in that way.
A reminder that we can all do something to help others. Coming up on DBL, he's not a pet and he doesn't take no for an answer. Find out the crazy story behind this viral love bug. Coming up on Daily Blast Live.
Talking to my guys, Chris and Mike here, Fedora Mike as we like to call him, show the hat, show the fedora. I was just doing more research on the whole college scandal thing with Mrs. Huffman and Laura Loughlin. I'm not shocked. Are you shocked? Like, come on, DBL Nation, be honest. You guys have been writing in, and it doesn't seem like we all are shocked at this. I think everyone, and I'm glad that this happened on the anniversary of the birthday of the World Wide Web, because if this was 30 years ago, we wouldn't know about it. If this was, some years ago, there was no social media, or this wasn't a thing where you want to out people for doing these social injustices, this wouldn't be the thing. So now I'm starting to question a lot of people's admissions into Ivy League schools and these great schools. But I mean, honestly, to you guys, when you heard it, what was your initial thoughts?
I felt the same way you felt. I wasn't surprised. You hear these scandals. There's a big pay-for-play scandal going on right now in the NCAA, so I wasn't shocked.
And not even the NCAA, just the admissions process at these schools. You're looking at it, and not even, those are the two names we're mentioning here because they're celebrities. There's also CEOs. They're very successful real estate investors. There are a lot of big names and rich people attached to this, and that's how the rich stay rich. They keep sending their kids to these rich schools, and they're mediocre. My thing is this is what I'm pissed about, because doing my work with the New York Giants, I went around to different schools around the tri-state area. I went into the Bronx one time. There's this kid out there, both parents are dead. He's raised by his grandmother, and he takes care of his brother and sister, walks to school through gangland to get to and from school, works his butts off, gets great grades, but can't get into an Ivy League school or whatever because maybe he doesn't have that donation to get in there like that. It's not fair. I'm glad I want max time to anybody who gets caught with this type of fraud, because all you're doing is you're weakening our school system, like our admissions process. You got mediocre people going into these Ivy League schools, and it's already like you're already privileged. I know I'm not blaming it on the kids. You're already privileged because your dad is a CEO of a public or private corporation or some sort of rich, whatever he or she is, or your mom is rich. You're already privileged in that manner, and you need an extra $500K to $6.5 million to get you into the school, and the kid that really deserves it can't get into the school. It's just not fair. I'm glad all this stuff is coming to light.
That's great.
I'm glad all this stuff is coming to light.
Do you think there'll be fair consequences, though?
Absolutely not. They're going to go to the jail that Michael Cohen and Paul Manafort's going to end up going to. That white-collar type jail. Watch. I said it first. Thanks for writing in, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. You have to see this dog that's going viral. Meet Yuki. Not your typical canine. He's a massive 12-year-old gray wolf. He was saved from a kill shelter at 8 months old by Shy Wolf Sanctuary in Naples, Florida. And after a volunteer posted images of him online, he has now become a viral sensation. Yuki appears to look twice her size, but the volunteer says it's just his fat ankle. We all have one. While Yuki is not up for adoption, people can sponsor him through the sanctuary. Yuki!
There you go.
He's so cute.
I was going to say his name again.
Yuki.
There you go.
I love
He looks like a dire wolf for any Game of Thrones. Yeah.
That is insane. And I had a Great Dane that was 155 pounds.
Yeah.
Like 6'2".
I like the big dogs.
I
like
do
the
too,
never-ending
but that's
story
like
dog. What's the never-ending?
Falcor.
Falcor. I love me some Falcor.
Proud of that.
You're proud of that?
I was very proud of
It's a good reference to know.
Hey, that was right off the cuff. Atreyu. I love that movie. I watched it 1,000 times.
Me too. Have you seen it recently?
No.
I wonder if it holds up.
What's the big rock name? What's a big rock guy's name?
I don't remember. Do you remember his name?
I got 2 already.
What's his name? Hurry.
I don't know.
We have 5 seconds.
Rockman.
It's not Rockman.
George Rockman.
It's George Rockman?
Yes, look it up.
We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys. What is it?
I don't know.
DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital Team. So we are tracking all the latest in this education scheme. I want to know what you think about it, DBL Nation, but I am just so disgusted by this. Actually, Sharon, are you willing to talk on camera real quick here? About being a mom and having your kids
being a mom.
What do you think about this educational scheme? I just think it's gross. It's disgusting.
Tell me what, the lady who's...
Yeah, so the actresses.
It's not right.
So
and it's not a great lesson for kids either.
No, and that's the saddest part. These kids are going to be punished, and so they're still talking about, they said they may still charge the kids. Probably not. They are still considering charges.
Kids are the victims.
The victims. They have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's their mom, and it's the wrong priority,
so
and it's the
sad.
wrong message. You are who you are, and at the end of the day, you want your kids in the place that's best for them.
Exactly, and that's not going to be somewhere you got them into.
Not necessarily somewhere that you've got them into if they don't test in right.
Yeah, they're going to struggle in their classes. They're going to be embarrassed.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I had
exactly.
a kid that I wanted to get in the same school as her brother, and he was just at a different level, and I was devastated when they couldn't be together.
But
it was the best thing. You have to listen to the teachers. They know what they're talking about.
Yep. So I just wanted to hear from a mom about this. It's just a sad situation.
I know you want the best for your kids, but you got to.
But this is not the way to do it. All right, DBL Nation, let us know what you think. We'll see you soon.
Wow, that was fun.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
I don't know yet. Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, March 12th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Brandon, and I'm Sam. Al Jackson is on assignment. Let's get started. We begin with some shocking breaking news. 2 big celebs, Full House star Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, the former Desperate Housewives star, are allegedly desperate to get their kids into elite schools. Huffman has been arrested and is in custody after she was indicted, along with dozens of others, in a massive bribery scheme, allegedly paying a lot of money to get their kids into elite schools like Yale, Stanford, and USC. Authorities claim that Huffman paid $15,000 so that her daughter would be given twice the amount of time to take the SATs and even have her answers corrected by the proctor. Lori Loughlin has also been indicted for allegedly paying $500,000 to have her 2 daughters labeled as recruited athletes, even though they were not. But don't blame the kids. The indictment says most of the students had no idea what their parents were allegedly doing. So I really do feel for the kids here, Jeff. I mean, here they're going to be at this school. I'm sure their peers are going to now question, and they're going to question themselves, do I belong here? Did I deserve this?
Yeah, and it's embarrassing, to be just honest about it. I'd be embarrassed if I were the daughter, especially if they didn't know. You know, I don't know how this is going to play out, and I don't know if this is like an everyday thing, but I know donations to schools is an everyday thing to get people into schools. It's not like that's never happened before, where you give a large donation to help your child in school. This is a different circumstance. Recruited athletes, I wonder how that's going to work out. Like, you got a scholarship for soccer, I don't know what it is,
rowing.
and now you're not on a team?
So they were rowing, and they asked them to show evidence that they actually were rowers, both her twins, and there was a picture of them on a rowing machine, and she sent that in.
And one UCLA coach, and I don't believe connected to that daughter, but one of the UCLA coaches is now in question. And that, I mean, I'm a UCLA alumni. I swam for UCLA. I know how hard I worked to get that scholarship, and it boils my blood.
It boils your blood, Sam, but are we shocked? The rich are going to do what the rich want. Privilege is going to abuse their privilege. And you look at it, it's not, we're only talking about this because of the two celebrities involved. There are some rich, influential people also in this indictment. So I'm thinking it's just not fair for the kid that's in the Bronx, that's raised by grandma because his two parents died, and he has to raise his little brothers and sisters, walks through gangland to get to and from school, but can't get accepted into these schools, but can't afford it. The church has to come up with some sort of offering to try and get that kid to school.
Amen.
It's not fair. Your kid's already privileged. You need another $6.5 million to get your kid in school?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I mean, definitely these are all allegations. We will continue to follow it, but man, wow.
And just for the two careers of the actresses involved and the other people, Lori Loughlin's like the good girl on the Hallmark Channel.
Right? And Hallmark.
Yeah, I know she does a lot of movies. Is this good, or is Hallmark going to ask her to come back? I don't know.
Allegedly, she's taken her Instagram down already, so we're going to take a look into that and further, but this is a bad thing for her reputation.
Yeah.
Amen.
Wow. She'll go to Club Fed and it'll be okay.
I think it still will hurt her career, regardless. New video in right now of Jussie Smollett showing up to a Chicago courthouse. So let's get to Kelly Schuberth. She has the latest on that.
Sam, a hearing in Chicago for Jussie Smollett's case just ended. We're told Jussie didn't even have to show up for today's hearing, but here he is strutting into the courtroom right before it started. Now, this is the first time we've seen the actor since he was indicted on 16 counts after police say he lied about being the victim of a hate crime. In today's hearing, the judge decided he will allow cameras to be in the courtroom during the case. Jussie's team reportedly says they welcome the cameras because of the misinformation that has been leaked to the media. Sam, Jussie's legal team says they plan to speak to the media Thursday. I'll keep you updated.
Wow. I'm so happy, though, Kelly, that we're going to have the cameras there. I think now more than ever we need transparency with this case. So many different narratives are spawning already on social media based off just his perp walk, so to speak.
Yeah, I got to be honest. This is a Garagos move if I've ever seen one, and what it foreshadows
Tell
to
everybody
me.
who Mark Garagos
is a famous celebrity defense litigator. He's done
Michael
Michael
Jackson, Chris Brown.
Yeah, he's done big ones, and he's gotten a lot of people acquitted. Now, this is starting to show me foreshadowing. They're going aggressive, and what I think they're going to do is be aggressive against the Chicago PD for being racist and have police brutality. Now, that's true, but a totally separate issue. But what I feel from this is that looks like a Beyonce formation moment happening. That was choreographed. It was the outfit to the sunglasses to everything. They know that's going to go viral on like over and looping, right?
It is.
So that shows me they're coming in aggressive. They're going right after the Chicago PD, and now that it's televised, he likes that more.
Wow.
So interesting to see the switch.
This looks like it's going to be the second thing that he choreographed in Chicago in the last couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
I got to give you that one.
Tori gave it to me because the audience didn't like that one last time.
I was just going to say.
Oh, you said it last time.
And it was like Tori told the joke.
Silence.
Final silence.
I was going to say it looked like Jussie versus Chicago PD. No, it's Jussie versus Conor McGregor the way he's walking into the ring right now.
That's totally perfect.
Jeez.
But I was sitting on my joke. Do you really think this is a good idea to be televised? It just gets his name out there a little bit more.
1,000%
I don't know if I like it.
Do you know how many times people have already gotten this story wrong? I think if we want to hear justice, right, complete justice, I think all the details need to be out there, and then people can make up their own mind instead of creating their own narratives. That's my opinion.
I think it's going to help the defense a lot, and I wonder if it would have been better had they kept this quiet. If things, I wonder about where it's going to help more.
Well, we will follow it. Trust me. Today is a special anniversary. The World Wide Web turns 30. Hey. How many of you remember this sound, huh? Wow. Google is marking the occasion with this doodle, paying homage to a vintage computer, complete with a floppy disk drive, clunky keyboard, and an old school monitor. But it's that modem connection that made all the difference. And it was this man, English software engineer Tim Berners-Lee, who on this date in 1989 wrote a paper that detailed the creation of the World Wide Web, a universally accepted way of accessing the internet. And now 30 years later, the whole world has changed, clearly. But this got us asking, what do you remember, DBL Nation? What do we remember about our very first experiences on the World Wide Web?
Oh,
How old were you?
I was 8th grade, so what is that, like 14 years old?
Yep, 13,
I was on
14.
13, 14. I remember Bill Belichick had called my father because he was talking about a job opportunity with the New England Patriots. And I got kicked offline, Jeff. I was ticked off.
Because it's either phone or internet.
And I'm like, who is this? And he's like, this is Bill Belichick calling from my mother. I'm like, Dad, some dude named Bill Belichick, but hurry up, because I'm online. Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, Bill.
You should have went last.
Sorry, Bill.
Yeah, mine is going to be way worse. Oh, now mine is. Okay. I remember Carmen Sandiego, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, Oregon Trail. I remember a lot of games, and I also remember playing QWERTY and having a good screen name, and mine was Have to Dream with a 2.
Of course it was.
I can see that.
And finally you?
I think Oregon Trail was the first time I got on.
Were you good at it?
No, I don't think I was.
Everybody always died, right?
I always lost. I always broke a wheel spoke.
Well, it was a new language to learn, though, you know?
No, you just push the arrows.
Well, I know, but it's still new for all of us. Coding, so to speak. Thank you, Tori. All right, who doesn't love a flying baby elephant? I love a flying baby elephant. Well, a bunch of A-list stars and their kids turned out to celebrate the premiere of Disney's new live-action remake of Dumbo. Look at him. Angelina Jolie and 4 of her kids walked the red carpet, including Zahara, Shiloh, and the twins, Vivian and Knox. Angelina wore a white sleeveless gown that showed off her impressive collection of back tattoos. Also on hand was our girl, Helen Mirren, who wore a pale gray dress and a patterned jacket. Check this out. Mirren nearly fell over trying out this carnival sledgehammer game. Can you blame her? But looks like she did pretty well, all things considered. But going back to Dumbo, Tori, people are applauding Tim Burton, saying that, yeah, they are liking it. I'm nervous.
I'm not going to see it. I can't see it.
I know.
Dumbo, his mom and he get separated immediately.
But don't you think that's a good message for kids?
Yes. It's just
like the Lion King. I'm going to take Lawson to go see it, and he watches it all the time. You need to show death or someone dying. Unfortunately, it sounds terrible, but kids need to learn at some point why their dog died, why their grandfather.
Well, and here there
died.
is an animal rights message here, so I applaud it. I love it. I just personally don't want to go through it.
I know it's sad. I don't like it.
And I think because my mom was ill, Dumbo and Bambi was like way real in a weird way. Do you know what I mean? And I have a version, but it is. Those things need to be shown to kids and explained because it's powerful.
And they have the pink, cool, trippy elephant scene again. Remember the trippy elephant scene?
No.
Doesn't this help you?
Only one that remembers
I'm an elephant.
That does help. That does help.
Yeah.
Well, she's wearing pink.
Yeah. Is that a fat joke? No.
No. I'm so glad I stayed away from that one.
I didn't do it.
DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, what the heck is this giant creature? We'll have all the details on this viral superstar. A crazy building blitz has turned into a dream come true. Meet the amazing family who has a new home thanks in part to our own Bo Davidson. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. You're fired up with these comments about this photo of preschoolers in scrubs. Is it sexist or cute? DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. That's coming up next.
We are chatting all about the stories we're going to be talking about in the breaks this hour. First up, Beyoncé and Jay-Z honored at the GLAAD Awards. Who doesn't honor them? I honor them all the time. Next, it's National Pancake Day! Yay! IHOP is giving them away. All day, I heard, too, so still want some pancakes. Go get them. Let's see what's going on at the desk.
I think he's a good designer. Fantastic designer. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hi, everyone. Hi. What's going on with everybody? Who's gonna? Oh, I wanted to ask everybody, what is their least favorite Disney movie?
I know.
My least favorite Disney movie.
I wasn't a big fan of.
Not against Disney, but everyone's had those ones in their childhood, and I want to ask the DBL.
When I think about my favorite, it's Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay.
I think
You're an
one
Ariel
that
girl.
I loved Ariel. Loved her.
Look
Least
at that
favorite.
stuff. Isn't it neat?
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't you say my collection's complete? Wouldn't you say I'm the girl that has everything?
A whole new world.
And that trailer popped today.
It's the remix.
A whole new world. What about
See?
under
See
the
that?
sea?
See?
Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. You know, what about Ursula? Oh, what was her song?
She had too much cleavage for a kid.
This one's longing to be thinner. This one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed.
But question, was she showing too much cleavage for a kid's show?
No, she's an octopus.
No, Ursula.
Yeah, but she's an octopus.
She could put some straps on.
No, I think Ursula's fine.
Went the wrong way. Redo her.
She's voluptuous. There's nothing wrong with being voluptuous. I think little
kids.
kids need to see their bodies come in all shapes and sizes, breasts included, right?
I'll do it myself.
Pink elephant, pink elephant, pink elephant.
Welcome back to DBL. A photo showing two young children aspiring for careers in medicine is getting a lot of reaction on Twitter. Medical Shots is a health-related Twitter account that posted this picture of a little girl wearing pink scrubs that say nurse in training, with a little boy holding her hand in green scrubs that says doctor in training. And the internet is on fire with comments. Some say the image is cute. Others are saying it is sexist. So DBL Nation, we want to hear from you on this one. Let's get to their comments.
Naomi from YouTube says, I feel everyone in this medical field is equally important to helping saving a patient's life. If you take one away, the risks are so much higher for the patient. Both are great career tracks. Agreed. I don't care if you're man, woman, trans, man, trans, dog, trans, cat. If you're saving my life, a friend's life, or someone's life, you can be whatever you want to be. But I just look at it as soon as you put something up online, people are going to be offended regardless. Some people are going to like it. They're going to be offended. It's like when they did the Laurel or Yanny challenge. What'd you hear? People were going at it online. That had nothing to do with the price of tea in China. So I just feel as though as soon as you put in something online, then people are going to have whatever they're going to see it the way they want to see it.
Always.
The tea in
Tea in China. I like that.
Okay. Patty from Facebook says, reverse this image or at least tell the full story. More diversity would have made a greater statement beyond just cute, like 2020 is coming. Yeah, Patty, and a lot of you wrote in and saying, I can't believe the liberals are so upset about it. I'm not like burning my bra. I'm not like really upset. This isn't horrifically ruining my day. Do I want to know that the girl's shirt also can say doctor in training? Yeah, because we've been reinforced over and over and over again that we can only reach a certain level and then our potential is capped. So do I want to show that women can do that? Yes, but do I also love nurses? 1,000%.
Romar from Twitter says, I'm a male retired RN. I was always referred to as a male nurse. I would politely respond by saying, yes, I'm a nurse. Gender had nothing to do with my career choice. I'm with you 1,000%. Thanks for putting in your time. We really appreciate that. My son loves the show Doc McStuffins, loves it. And the doctor in that show is a little black girl, and the nurse in that show is a hippopotamus. So does my son thinks he has to be a hippopotamus to be a nurse? I mean, it's a little. I'm offended by how offended everyone gets online.
That. I think using the term offended isn't the right term. I think a lot of people just don't want to be complacent, especially people that have been fighting for women's rights, and they've seen these subliminal messages in all of our products, whether it be the T-shirts that we wear, whether it be whatever it may be. So I'm glad we're having the conversation.
No one's outraged, but I think it's just like, let's be more aware.
But some people are outraged, and then me as just knowing anything, not even just diversity in general, or sayings that aren't taken. Listen, I'm afraid to make a mistake, is what I'm trying to say.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh, but Sam, listen, you should. You have to be really careful. I would never ever stop and say, "Wow, that said a girl, and that said a boy, and that's not right."
You're not a girl that's seen that reinforced stereotype.
It wouldn't, even if it was gender, even if it was ethnicity, anything. I don't get offended by things that people point out that we talk about in the show.
That might be because you're a white male, and I think a lot of women and
it's because my son is going to do whatever he wants to do. If the astronauts from the women's team that just went up there inspire him, that's what he's going to do.
Absolutely.
I don't care who goes up there. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what gender they are. People need to stop worrying about every little detail and worry about themselves and what they're offspring is going to do, regardless of what they grow up to be. That's what all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. People, you're stunting people's growth by saying, this isn't what you're going to be, by telling them all the time. Tell them what they're going to be.
Well,
don't tell them what they're not going to be.
I love that you just said that, but that's what a lot of, I'm not saying this is that, but there's been a lot of subliminal marketing in the past that really shows women in a domesticated role or in a certain
I
cap.
get it. I get
Yeah,
it. I
so
totally get it.
It's a subtext. It's just a subtext
It
that's
is,
reinforced
but I mean, we do a story like this every day, and people are fired up. And if I did it, I wouldn't know it. And I know we got to go, but I love ranting, so maybe I'll do it in a break.
Oh, great. Stay tuned, everyone.
Break time.
Oh, coming up on DBL, a bizarre statue. This is so good, you guys. Honoring a famous athlete isn't what it seems. You gotta stick around. We will reveal who he is. Also, a crazy building blitz has turned into a dream come true. Meet the amazing family who has a new home, thanks in part to our own Bo Davidson. Coming up next on DBL.
Here in the breaks, and I have a story coming from pretty much every news network. Beyoncé and Jay-Z will accept a GLAAD award for their work in LGBTQ rights. Now, Beyoncé not only speaks about marriage equality, but she also dedicated her performances to the Orlando nightclub shooting victims. And then Jay-Z also has his history too. He had a song come out called Smile. It's dedicated to his mother, who has come out as lesbian, and he has a lot of other work that he's done with Beyoncé together to work on it. Now, other people who have received this honor: Cher, Janet Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor, Antonio Banderas. They're all considered allies who have made a significant difference in promoting acceptance of LGBTQ people. So it's a really good honor, and it's kind of high up there with some big names. So congrats to Jay-Z and Beyoncé, and I will see you next time, DBL Nation.
Welcome back to DBL. Owning your own home. It's the American dream. But for some, it's a dream that may never be a reality. That's where Habitat for Humanity can help. The organization has helped more than 22 million people build or improve the place they call home. Last year, I helped build one of those homes, and earlier this month, I saw this story come full circle. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be checking out this Habitat for Humanity home that I helped build about 8 months ago. And the best part about it, I get to meet the family inside. Let's go check it out. Hi there, Bo Davidson.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm David.
David, great to meet you.
Nice
David,
to meet you too.
I'm a bit in awe right now. I'm looking at your home, and 8 months ago, I was right here sitting on the same slab of concrete, except I was hammering some nails. I was lifting this frame up above your porch here. This is a beautiful home. I mean, how does it feel to be in this home now?
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
Because this is my first home to get in America. My home in Congo was burned by rebels.
Burned?
Yeah, and then my dad was killed by rebels. That's why I left my country. I lost everything in my country.
Now that you have your own home, would you say that you have achieved your version of the American dream?
Yes, already. This is my first dream I achieved. And then I want to achieve another dream for my education, to go to school, to become medical interpreter.
Medical interpreter?
Yes.
Did you help build this house?
Yes, I did. 200 hours.
200 hours?
Yes.
It's a lot. beautiful.
I did everything.
And you also have to work on your neighbors' homes too. Is that correct?
Yes.
Through Habitat for
I
Humanity?
work for all this house.
Whole street?
Yes.
How soon do you expect to move in?
Very soon, after 3 weeks, I have to move in.
So,
Yes.
David, thank you so much for taking the time with us. And, you know, I'm really inspired by your story. And I got to tell you, I'm so proud to have been a part of this home, knowing that you are the homeowner. And I wonder if you would do me the service of showing me around your home.
Okay, I can show you.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's take a look. Well, we have one thing that I do want to give to you. This is from all of us at Daily Blast Live. This is just a nice little welcome package for you with some things, with some good American treats, some popcorn, all kinds of stuff in here. This is from us to you to welcome you to your new home here in Denver.
Thank you so
There
much.
you go. Oh.
Thank you so much.
Give me a hug, David.
Thank you.
David's story is incredible. To learn more about how you can help families like David's, visit www.habitatmetrodenver.org. Coming up on DBL, is this the most bizarre statue you've ever seen? There's a hilarious reason for it you won't want to miss. Also, our favorite puppy pitchman is back with a new dog that needs a forever home. Maybe you can help. Up next on Daily Blast Live. Promotion. Story developing right now, Bo, here that Theresa May has lost the second Brexit deal that they have tried. I guess more will develop on that, but we're just learning that Theresa May has lost the second Brexit, I guess, vote for the deal that she's trying to get done with Brexit. Let's look at some of the comments that you've got coming in here. Let's see what you're talking about. This is on the nurses and the doctors. Okay. Brandy Sprung, I think nurses know way more than doctors. I trust nurses more than doctors. Here's something I actually wanted to bring up, and this is regarding Lori Loughlin and some of the others that for this scandal that's involving their children getting into colleges. This is Olivia Jade. Olivia Jade is Lori Loughlin's daughter, and I just printed this out because her name is Olivia Jade. She was in a video at 19 years old. And this is what she said. I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend, she told nearly 2 million subscribers, but I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance it all. But I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know. So she's obviously took some blowback then for that comment, and now we know that she got in and shouldn't have gotten in, it sounds like. So that's just goes to show you got to be careful with the content that you put out. You never know when it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. And in this particular case, knowing that her parents basically rigged getting her in doesn't help. All right, let's look at some more comments that you guys have here. Let's see. Coco Bardot. They could have thought it through better. Cute, yes. Misogynistic, oh yes. But look, it's so cute. SW. It's sexist and offensive. There are 10,000s of very competent, capable female doctors and surgeons. Alicia Jones Isbell. I would rather see that than little girls walking around in shorty shorts and crop tops. That's so true. You know, I think people look at things these days as whether they want to be offended or not. And I try not to do that, because I think anytime you look at an image or a video, you shouldn't be looking at it with an agenda. It's just a boy and a girl walking down. The girl has a nurse shirt on, the boy has a doctor shirt on. That doesn't mean that all boys have to be doctors, that all girls have to be nurses. The same is true for the opposite. I thought about, what if you switch the shirts? Then what effect would that have? Would they have said, oh, well, now all boys have got to be nurses? Now all nurses have to be male? Is that how it is? So you see, it's about what you read into it. I think people have just kind of taken this a little bit too far. But let's see what the rest of you are saying too. Naomi from YouTube. I also know women that have no problem just being a nurse, because these days the liability is so high to be a doctor, plus school is so expensive. That's true too. I know a lot of women who want to be nurse practitioners. That way they can prescribe, they can do all that stuff, but they don't have to go through the rigors and the debt and some of the other things that doctors have to go through, malpractice being one of them. So great comment, Naomi. She also says, I feel everyone in the medical field is equally important to help saving a patient's life. If you take one away, the risks are so much higher for the patient. Let's just celebrate all, regardless of what gender they are. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. Every week, our favorite puppy pitchman, Roman, introduces us to a new dog up for adoption. And every week, we try to find that dog a forever home. But this week, we have a very special pup up for adoption. And DBL Nation, we need your help finding her a family. Meet Trixie in today's Roman's Rescues.
Hi, everyone. This is my friend Trixie here. She's maybe 3, but a super sweet girl. She's honestly had a rough life. Trixie's a pit bull.
Yeah, why do you say she's had a rough life?
I mean, she's honestly been bred a lot, and she has a lot of scars on her face.
She does.
But Trixie's a really sweet girl. She really needs a home. A really good home that wants Trixie.
Like to love her?
That will love her and give her exactly everything she'll want. Adopt this sweet Trixie.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Way to go, Roman. Here's what's coming up next.
Michael Cohen's unlikely jailmates? We'll tell you all about the familiar faces he could end up bunking with behind bars. Plus, we have harrowing new video of people cheating death. You won't believe the close calls caught on camera. And a world-famous athlete is finally honored with his own statue. Can you figure out who he is? Find out when DBL comes back.
Continuing your comments on this fifth post, John Wick, how is it sexist? There's nothing wrong with the photo. Whereas Vic Silla says, very, very sexist. I know many, many women doctors and many male nurses. Well, that's true. Vic, I got to tell you, I think that, again, it's about the predisposition you come in with when you look at the image, which is to say, if why couldn't the girl have had on the doctor's shirt and the boy had on the nurse shirt? There's nothing wrong with that. That's the whole point, is that it's just an image. It's not dictating to you what you're supposed to think. Now, you can say it just enforces a norm, perhaps, but it's what you want to read into it. I think about Meghan Markle, who I went to school with at Northwestern, and I think she wrote in when she was a very, very young girl, and there was a commercial saying like something about the woman in the commercial was washing dishes. It might have been for Dial or a soap company. I can't remember which one it was. But she wrote in, she said, "Hey, why are you assuming that all the women do the dishes?" Well, of course, back in the day, that was a norm that was reinforced, and it was constantly reinforced to tell. But we don't really have that too much anymore. I mean, you watch Grey's Anatomy now. A lot of the doctors are female. There are a number of shows that we see. So I think that it's elevating the discussion. It's elevating the conversation. I appreciate that. But I just think that if you're coming into it looking to be offended, you're going to be. And I think that's the wrong attitude to take when you look at an image like that. Had it been reversed, you might have people that would expressing outrage that the men should have been the doctor. You know what I mean? The boy should have been the doctor. So just remember that. Try not to have too many preconceived notions when you come and you look at an image like that and create fury for no reason. That's what social media is all about. Don't create unnecessary rage. Thanks, guys.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. We are live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. So let's get started. We are following what authorities are calling the largest college admission scam ever, prosecuted by the Department of Justice, and big name celebs are allegedly involved, including Full House star Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman from Desperate Housewives. They have been indicted along with dozens of others in a massive bribery scheme. They allegedly paid large amounts of money to get their kids into elite schools. And the alleged ringleader, William Singer, is accused of creating a fake nonprofit as a front to launder payments. The U.S. Attorney's Office says some payments were as high, are you ready for this, as $6.5 million. College coaches have also been charged at schools including Wake Forest University, Georgetown, USC, and the University of Texas. Now celebrities are weighing in. Actor Dean Norris tweets, "It's hard enough for working class kids to succeed without rich privilege taking opportunity away." And Bethany Frankel from The Real Housewives tweets, "Everyone has to front. Go to the school you can get into or don't go to school at all." Yeah, it is all about fronting, and at the same time, you're taking away opportunities from those who deserve to be there. It's just horrendous. Like, really, I get that you want to do the most you can for your kids, but in the end, you're hurting your kids big time. And now what do they have to deal with?
What kind of life lessons are you teaching your children when you're doing things like this, you know? And this isn't, like I said it before, this happens all the time, not in this sense where they have a front to launder the money, but with donations. People are donating to universities across the country for their children to get in here.
What about private high schools too, right? I'm a product of a public school, but I remember hearing the stories of some of the local private schools. And as an athlete, I mean, can you imagine all the work that you've done on the field and then some other student athlete comes in that has no experience or talent?
It's so disrespectful, and it's a slap in the face of the hard work. I wasn't highly recruited. I had to go to Fork Union Military Academy after high school to be a postgraduate, to go on these recruiting visits, and I still wasn't even recruited that highly, but I had to put the work in. I took the SATs 3 times to be NCAA clearing, to be cleared by the NCAA. It's not fair that someone can just pay $200K and then their kid fakes like they're on the crew team and then they're into one of the best colleges in the world.
I wonder, you're absolutely right. I wonder if we would even know of this if it didn't have these celebrities attached.
Yeah, because I don't want us to think it's Hollywood. It's going to be very large, this web that we've spun. I think it's going to go to Silicon Valley. I think we're going to see chairmen of companies, CEOs, law firms. Yep. So it's not just Hollywood. It's the rich. It's the 1% that think they can get away with it. Just an update for you guys. Lori Loughlin is on a plane back to surrender herself. Yikes. She's under a felony charge of mail fraud. William H. Macy has not been indicted at all. But
that's Felicity Huffman's husband.
That's Felicity Huffman's husband, also an actor. And Lori Loughlin just turned off her Instagram. So it's going to be some jail time.
Wow.
I mean, that's going to be.
I wonder how it will affect their careers.
It's a felony charge.
Club fed.
Well, that's
jail
still
time
jail.
Or jail time.
That's up to you to decide.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I do think it will affect their careers. I do, especially with the Hallmark Channel and
that one's
Lori
going to be tricky.
Yeah.
How
Well, there are allegations. We will keep you updated. We have to show you what went down on the Late Late Show last night. This is so good, you guys. Host James Corden pulled an elaborate prank on soccer star David Beckham. James created a fake and awful statue of Beckham and passed it off as the real one. Watch.
I mean, look at my chin. The only thing that's good is the hair, and that's about it. Look at my bum. Oh,
yeah, again, I'm telling you, that's in motion, that's how it looks.
It definitely doesn't look like that.
I mean, no, yeah.
Oh my gosh. He was so polite. Could you have been that calm?
See, I wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but like if I was Tori was there and I was like, listen, that doesn't really look like me. You wouldn't be able to play what I'm about to say to Tori because there'd be so many explicit terms in there.
Oh, yeah. He kept it together, but the arms were 18 feet long.
Like he was looking at my arm. The video, I encourage you to watch the whole video. It's worth it.
Entire thing, because there was a point where he told the LA Galaxy team with the camera crew, he was like, can you turn the cameras off? Turn the cameras off so he can say what he really wanted. Like, come on. Like, he was like, my parents are flying in. My wife is flying in.
Even
for
when
this.
he did say what he really wanted to, with all the cameras, so to speak, turned off because there was still one hidden camera, he was still really calm, cool, and collected. I love him. If I couldn't love him anymore. You have another famous statue?
Ronaldo. This one's actually real. The Ronaldo statue is famous.
Yeah.
So that
on
one,
the left.
Yeah, that's the actual statue that they tried to pass. And then they had to redo it, and then that's the one they came up with.
Technically, Jeff, that is what Ronaldo looked like before the plastic surgery.
No.
That is a before and after when you put those two.
Go drink your haterade.
I am fine. I don't know what you're talking about. No plastic surgery. I don't have money for that. But go look at what Ronaldo used to look like before the plastic surgery.
There's also a famous Lucille Ball one, which is fine.
Fair enough.
You want to hear a super bougie story where you guys are going to make fun of me?
Yeah.
I went to this party in Beverly Hills one time. I swear to God, you're going to make fun of me. I walk in. I'm like, who is that? Ronaldo pulls away like in a Lamborghini. I'm like, holy cow, that was the best soccer player like in the world.
Wow.
So we go up to the party. We had the party up there. We go down to the bar. I go like this. David Beckham's right next to me. I'm like,
tell me everything.
What is going on?
Everything.
Is he tall? What did he smell like?
What is he? I love him
He
so
smelled
much.
like oddly like shepherd's pie.
Ooh.
No, I don't
And like
know.
pine trees.
Did you say anything to him?
No, so of course not. And then the girl it was my friend Carmen's birthday, and she's like, I'm just gonna ask. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And she goes, listen, it's my birthday. I had a couple drinks. I hate to bother you. It's like this swanky Beverly Hills like place, you know? Yeah. And he's like, of course.
Oh,
and he took the picture,
nice.
and he she was the only one who took a picture. But
he's too
it was like
cute.
Two of the biggest superstars in the whole world I saw within
Pretty
2
cool.
hours.
Pretty cool.
I know, I'm a cool guy.
Yeah,
I'm a cool guy.
Hashtag goals. Get it?
That's good.
I'll take it. Good answer.
Sorry, I took a lot of time with that one.
That was good. That was worth it. Well worth it. Disney fans get excited because the new Aladdin trailer just dropped. Stephanie Jones has the story, and it's coming in hot.
That's right. It's a whole new world because the new trailer for Disney's live-action remake of Aladdin is here. It brings the 1992 classic film to life, and we even see Will Smith bust a move as the Magic Genie. Watch this.
Watch this.
Watch out! You done wound me up. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my palace?
Aladdin hits theaters on May the 24th.
That looks good.
I can't wait to go see that. And remember, people they wanted to say something when the first trailer came out.
People were hating.
He's not blue. Will Smith, the genie's not blue. I bet you they'll be the first ones in line. Ready. Ready.
Yep. Oh,
Watch.
yeah. I believe you. I do.
I'll be there, too.
Okay.
What's up, Will?
President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, has been sentenced to 3 years in prison, but where will he be serving his time? He's expected to head to Otisville Federal Correction Institution, a medium security prison in upstate New York. It reportedly has a deli, bocce ball courts, and prisoners can stay up until 2 a.m. He would join other convicts like Mike the Situation Sorrentino, convicted for tax fraud, and Bill McFarland, the man behind the Fire Festival. Yeah. Here's what we think it might look like at the prison deli. There they are. Yep, probably, joking around. You know Mike the Situation. How do you think he's doing?
I think he's doing fine in there, especially after seeing that. I think he's doing really good in there. But, I mean, it's not their fault that they got sent to this prison. Why do we have a prison like this? Although I'm glad Mike's in that prison. But why do they make prisons so cushy like this? You did a crime. You should do the hard time, not just like...
Think about the, think about the first story we did. The rich get privileges. As Brandon said so eloquently, the privileged get privilege. If it's a white-collar crime, meaning it's a business embezzlement, you're going to have bocce balls. But if you're a kid on the street and you have a minor drug offense, you're in hardcore prison. It's
not
terrible.
right. Yeah.
And that's why Kim Kardashian, as crazy as it seems, is at least doing something about prison reform. It's unfair.
It's sad. I applaud her, but it's really sad that she's the one that's having to make sure
totally
that certain prisoners are getting out, and certain prisoners have housing and jobs. Those are programs that should be implemented for sure.
I agree.
All right, let's get to this next story, shall we? This is actually a really important story, and I'm happy that we can share it with you. There's a new movement sweeping the internet called #IamNotOK. It's reminiscent of #MeToo. Actress Evan Rachel Wood started it all by posting images from an old photo shoot with the caption, "The day of this photo shoot, I was so weakened by an abusive relationship. I was emaciated, severely depressed, and could barely stand. I fell into a pool of tears and was sent home for the day." Now the hashtag has taken it off, with many people tweeting their own stories of domestic violence. You can see a few on your screen. While it's important to bring awareness to this issue and share stories, it's also really important to get help. Talk to someone. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. And this hashtag has really evolved into something much bigger. It has inspired us here at DBL to open up about moments when we haven't been okay. I've seen you guys sharing your photos on social media, so I want to chime in. Here's a photo of me right when I started at Daily Bus Live. You think I'm happy? I look at that photo and I cringe because I can see there's no light behind my eyes. I mean, that was the darkest time of my life. Even though I had just given birth to my daughter, you think that would have been the highlight of my life. And you just can't explain postpartum depression. I mean, the reality was on the way to take that photo, I was praying I'd get hit by a car. So it's so weird to talk about now because, I mean, Tori, you know, you've been through depression.
I don't know postpartum, and I can only imagine what that was like as you leading our show as well. And I can't believe what you did. So I applaud you. I hope you know that because no one has to go through that and have a child and run a show. So I applaud you for that, Sam. I had a really hard time. This is my picture of I'm not okay. That's at Michigan, and that's at the big house. And there's
look at you're smiling.
Yeah, I have a beer in hand, 150,000 people at that stadium, and in my life, I've never felt more alone. That was the loneliest, the saddest, the most depressed
Now, what did you want to hear? I wanted to hear, Sam, it's okay to not be okay, because I was so ashamed. I'm such a positive person when things are right chemically in my mind. So I just wanted to be told, hey, Sam, it's okay to not be okay. Let's make sure that we get you some help. But I was hiding it. It was, in fact, you.
I know, in case you don't know why she's getting emotional, my wife went through the exact same thing months before she did, and it was serious. I didn't know what it was, and luckily I saw it in Sam when she went through it. I was terrified for my wife when we went through it, and I don't know what it's like to be clinically, to go on medication like that, but I do want to say positivity gets you through things like that. If you're having a bad day, don't get, and again, I applaud both you guys for coming out and speaking, and whoever does come out, I think that's the first move to helping yourself. But don't get involved in this hashtag because you're having a bad day and start reading everyone's depressing stories and start getting immersed in depression, because that's only going to send you further into depression. And listen, I'm not a doctor, but surround yourself with positivity. Try to dig yourself out of that hole. I went through it, again, not clinically, but I've had bad days, very bad days, and I brought myself out of it. You can too. Just be positive. I'm just warn people not to get so involved with this hashtag and be surrounded by negativity, but I do applaud you guys for coming forward and asking for the help. Do you see what do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I just think when you're really clinically depressed, it's hard to think positively. You just, in my opinion, I just wanted to be told
couldn't get out of bed.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But thank you for showing me the light, so to speak. Thank you, and thank you to your wife, because it saved my life. So thank you.
And it's serious stuff. Man.
Yeah.
And just by you guys being so relatable, you just saved someone else's life as well. So thank you as well for sharing that.
And I believe we're going to have some resources on our social pages, so please check those out, because you're not alone. You absolutely are not. We will be right back.
Sweet.
First off, we want to know that Aladdin. Oh, let me talk to you. Yeah, don't worry.
Hey, we'll talk over here anyway. So, I mean, I could talk for Sam. So, my wife went through postpartum depression, and she'll tell you she's IG storied about it. So, whatever I'm saying is not private. You know, she's talked about this many times, and she would. It was like a good month or two where I didn't know what was going on in our relationship. But I remember the exact time was Christmas time, and we were back home, and I was in the mall Harlem Irving Plaza parking lot, and I remember so detailed, and she just like, I want to kill myself, and she told me that, and something inside me was almost relieved.
That is not
it was like relieved, like, okay, something's wrong, what's going on, let's get to the bottom of this. We need to call a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I can't get you out of this with positivity, obviously. What's going on? I didn't know what postpartum depression was. I had no idea. She wasn't really loving on Lawson. I was the one getting up in the middle of the night, taking care of our son, and I didn't know what was going on. And all these are totally relatable signs to postpartum depression. She got a medication. Our doctor wasn't too worried about it, which made me feel better. Like, listen, we're going to put you on half meds. You're going to snap out of it in about 2 weeks. And she did. And she looked back thinking, man, I can't believe I had these thoughts in my head.
I know. Zoloft is magic. Let me tell you. Yeah. Zoloft completely. I think it took about 2.5 weeks for me too. And then all of a sudden, like,
colors were brighter.
I could hear. I was excited. I was like,
your light came back in your eyes.
Yeah, and those dark thoughts went away. And then I was able, like Jordan, to wean myself off. So currently I'm on no medication. Not to say that it's bad to be on medication.
Because I'm still on Prozac, and I've been since college, and that was in college at University of Michigan. And I have PMDD, which is when you have premenstrual depression disorder, you get really sad. So what I needed to hear was someone saying, I'm going to jump in the hole with you and get you out. And that's what I'm not okay, I think, is doing.
And real quickly, I do want to be specific about Jordan saying she's going to kill herself. She specifically said, I want to drive this car into another oncoming car, which is a very typical sign. So I want to just make sure that's clear.
Yep, those were exactly my signs.
Welcome back to DBL. We have to talk about some crazy videos that are trending. They're all situations where people are cheating death. Take a look at this giant fireball. 2 officers from Georgia sprang into action right before a car went into flames. Just seconds earlier, they pulled a car over that was on fire. One officer grabbed a fire extinguisher. He was able to put it out, enough to drag the driver out that was trapped inside. Then it burst into flames. And today, the officers are being awarded the Life-Saving Medal Award. It just reminds you of how much our men and women in service, in blue uniforms and also firefighters, ambulances, EMTs, are risking their lives daily.
They run to the roar.
Yes.
They run to the roar without thinking of, oh, if I mess up, something's going to be on social media, I could lose my job. They run to that roar to save our lives, and we're so appreciative.
Yeah, they deserve that award.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
Sure.
There's something about a fight or flight when you're that prepared and trained to go in and do that before. They're like angels on earth. I mean, when you think of EMTs, firefighters, cops, things like that, they're literally angels on earth.
Well said, Tori. This next video comes from London, England. A gusty 70-mile-an-hour wind narrowly missed a man strolling on the sidewalk. Yeah. Let's see that again. The bricks fall right behind him. He safely walks away uninjured. Looks like he was super scared, though, when you look at it from this angle. He's running from the falling debris. No one was hurt, but it took the fire department 2 hours to clean up. Wow, can you imagine? I mean, you see him like just spring into action. It's almost like his spidey senses were activated.
The first thing I think about is like, what if I brushed my teeth 1 second longer? I wanted to change my shirt.
Yep.
I wanted to get a drink of water. Though I don't know if we have control of what happens there. I think there's another power out there, whatever you want to believe in.
Divine intervention.
Just gave him a little push.
Yep, maybe a deceased relative. Totally
whatever
agree.
it is.
Stop to get your shoe a certain time ago.
I know.
Interesting.
We want to warn you about this next video. It's pretty scary, but we want to assure you no one was seriously injured. A high school soccer game was interrupted by high winds when a light pole fell on a referee.
This one's bad.
2 bones in 1 leg and injured his foot, and he will need 1 more surgery. But given this, wow, he is okay given the circumstances, because that is gnarly. Can we see that one again?
Yeah, can we please?
Because that's just like, I can't even imagine. So there's the referee.
Oh my, no.
Wow.
There was no warning at
Oh my
all.
God, how scary, because he doesn't get up right away either. So you can imagine the people watching.
Well, I mean, the
must have
fact
thought
that
the
he's
worst.
alive is a miracle.
Is a miracle.
Yes.
But you would think the worst. If you were on that field, you would think the worst.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you play that back, I don't mean to keep playing it, but if you watch it again, there are some people that run away from that,
And
there's
run
one
to get
people
help.
run to that. You know, that's just whatever's in your heart.
Yeah.
Some people want to go and help.
some are
and
running
this
Some
one
people
guy
are
ran
like,
to get help.
and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just like the police officers. Some people have it in them to help.
Yep. All right. Well, coming up on DBL, would you have what it takes to do what this brave couple did to help someone? The story coming up in today's Heart Threads. And what about this crazy woman? That's not a pet. So why is she hanging out with an animal that's twice her size? What is it? We'll tell you coming up on DBL.
Nation, it's Lex and I'm here with the DVL Digital team giving you guys more top trending stories during the breaks here at Daily Blast Live. How about those videos? Those are so crazy. Hopefully you guys are writing us in and I'll try and read your comments so we can talk about them. Really scary, really freaky. Luckily, like, nobody was hurt, so very thankful for that. But you just have to be grateful for your experiences every day. So new trending story right now. It's trending everywhere, but this is from HollywoodLife.com. Guess what today is? It's Tuesday, but it's also National Pancakes Day. That means IHOP is giving away short stack of pancakes for free from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so it's not too late. Hopefully you guys can go out and check it out. What I didn't know is that it's for a charitable cause. Now, if you go and you get the free pancakes, you have an opportunity to donate to a bunch of different causes, and it's for children battling critical illnesses. Now, normally the pancakes would be $5.79, but anything that you donate, the pancakes are free, and anything you donate will go to any of those charities. So, really good cause. Figure if I were to go, you could just buy the pancakes, and then all of that money would go toward the kids. DVL Nation, write us in and let us know if you guys are celebrating National Pancake Day. Bye now.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about helping others. Watch how a couple battled the snow to feed stranded drivers. This couple hiked through the snow to bring food to stranded motorists. Jade and Quentin Sell were stuck in an Oregon traffic jam for 3 hours. They made it home, but learned the next morning that many hadn't.
We heard that people were still stuck, and we thought, well, we should bring them sandwiches and, do whatever we can to, help out.
With their dogs, they bought supplies and walked back to the freeway. They gave the food and water to grateful drivers, some of whom offered money.
They're like, how much? And we're like, how much? What are you talking about? Free?
One driver gave them $100, which Jade and Quentin spent on more food. They were impressed by how the drivers were looking out for each other.
Oh, we don't need food, but they need food. That they're hypoglycemic. There's a baby down back there, so people out there are just the ideal example of humanity.
The couple didn't expect any reward for their actions. They just did what they would want others to do for them.
So rewarding, just being able to love on people in that way.
A reminder that we can all do something to help others. Coming up on DBL, he's not a pet and he doesn't take no for an answer. Find out the crazy story behind this viral love bug. Coming up on Daily Blast Live. Remote. All right, we've got some comments here. I think this is regarding the cheating scandal with Loughlin and some others. Diane Coleman-Farrow says, those kids will grow up knowing how to do one thing really well, feeling entitled. Total crap, and his parents knew they should be held accountable to a degree. I agree with that. And it's like, can you really hold the kids responsible because their parents were just looking after them? But at the same time, Loughlin, these are big names that are on Hallmark and kind of a wholesome brand. It's very curious to see what will happen with these parents who are big, fixtures in Hollywood. Let's see here. What else we got here? I cannot wait to see Aladdin. This is Kevin Ing. Cannot wait to see Aladdin. It looks like it's going to be good. I'm loving Disney doing all of these live action remakes. I agree with you, Kevin. I think the preview I saw for Lion King looked great. The preview for Dumbo looks great. And then this one too for Aladdin. They're really cranking them out now. And it's become so realistic, these live action things too. So I'm actually looking forward to them too. Let's see what else we've got here. XOXO. I think that's how jail should be for everyone. Jail prison is for rehabilitation, not punishment.
Holly Joe, I guess anything really is possible with money. What a shame. And that's true. Like I think about, we talk about privilege, and I think there's something called economic privilege, which is, you're born into a situation and you have lots of money, and that's how your parents buy you access. Think about donations, donation of buildings, things like that. And that is obviously helpful, and it shouldn't be, because you're taking the spot of someone who didn't have, who had more merit than you did to get in. Like, so I went to Northwestern, top 25 school, very, very hard to get into. My SAT scores were decent, but they really probably were at maybe average of where things should be, and I knew that I was at a disadvantage, so I applied for the voice and opera program because I knew that would be like I'd have to show merit to get in, and I did, but it just because I was good enough did not necessarily mean they were going to accept me in the school, because they have to accept you as a singer and they have to accept you for your grades. So I was a little worried. My guidance counselor told me, you're probably not going to get in, and lo and behold, I did. But if I thought about the fact that I missed out on a slot because someone had paid their way in, I would have been very, very upset, because obviously we're seeing that's happen at USC, UCLA, and others, especially for people that are faking their athleticism to get in. So let's see what else we have here. Let's see, Naomi, the hosts are as real as it gets, and that's why I love watching DBL every day. They are perfect the way they are. Agree with you, Naomi. Thank you so much for that. I guess that's all we have the time for right now, but thanks for your comments, guys. Keep them coming in. We know you're fired up about the 5th host, and especially about these college kids, because I know a lot of you have children going to college. Thanks so much.
Welcome back to DBL. You have to see this dog that's going viral. Meet Yuki, not your typical canine. He's a massive 12-year-old gray wolf. He was saved from a kill shelter at 8 months old by Shy Wolf Sanctuary in Naples, Florida. And after a volunteer posted images of him online, he has become a viral sensation. Yuki appears to look twice her size, but the volunteer says, hey, it's just his fat angle. We all have one. While Yuki is not up for adoption, people can sponsor him through the sanctuary. He looks huge there. He looks like the never-ending story dog.
No.
Falcor.
Yeah, I love that movie. But what about, he looks like a dire from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, but so, okay.
Oh, you want to go get, I will go to a Never-Ending Story, though, because I love Falcor.
Falcor?
I wanted
think Barnaby looks like Falcor.
Falcor's the best. Barnaby does look like Falcor.
A little bit.
That's the dog that used to float in the air and like
fly.
That's floating. Flying is doing this.
He was half dragon, half dog.
Yeah.
You're right. He was flying.
Wonderful.
Is that really hold up? Have you seen it lately?
No, but when I was a kid, I wanted to fly on him so bad.
Who didn't?
Yeah. I watched the movie so many times.
Oh yeah.
Scales.
I would be on the furry part.
Oh, okay. Yeah, furry part for sure. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Woo-hoo!
Hey guys, it's time for Between Shows with Shuby and Shulman. We have a really funny video for you guys. Yeah, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Mitt Romney. Happy birthday, Mitt Romney. Wait till you see how he blows out each candle. It's a really weird thing. You gotta see it. You gotta wait. Here he goes in 3, 2, 1. Wait, not yet. 2. Wait, not yet. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. Okay. Happy birthday to you.
Each candle, one by one, he blows it out.
So earlier this had a we're just gonna keep rolling it.
We don't get
Earlier
it.
this video had us a little shook, but I totally get it. Tori does not. The reason is he doesn't want to blow his spit all over the
It's hygienic,
cookies.
but it's also
bonkers. I saw this.
That's bonkers.
I saw that somebody said this is serial killer activity.
That's deeply weird, dude. Someone wrote that. I tweeted that's deeply weird, dude. And he did so naturally, like you see a cake.
It's not even like weird. It's natural.
I mean, come on. So we want to know, how do you blow out your candles?
Yeah, and happy birthday, Mitt.
Yep.
We love you, big guy.
is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, March 12th. We're live and we're talking about what you're talking about. Right now, I'm here with Erica, Tori, and Stephanie. I'm Jeff. Al Jackson is out on assignment. Let's get to it, guys, because we begin with some shocking breaking news. Two celebs, Full House star Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, the former Desperate Housewives star, are allegedly desperate to get their kids into elite schools. You see what I did there? Huffman has been arrested and is in custody after she was indicted, along with dozens of others, in a massive bribery scheme, allegedly paying a lot of money to get their kids into elite schools like Yale, Stanford, and USC. Authorities claim that Huffman paid $15,000 so her daughter would be given twice the time to take the SATs and even have her answers corrected by the proctor. Lori Loughlin has also been indicted for allegedly paying $500,000 to have her two daughters labeled as recruited athletes, even though they were not. The man at the center of the scheme, William Singer, has just pled guilty this afternoon to all the charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. Wow, this goes deep.
Yeah, and just a little update before we get into how ridiculous this all is. Lori Loughlin is on a plane back, and she is going to surrender herself to felony charges. She's taken herself off Instagram. It's mail fraud, which is what they're going to charge both of them with, because they had to send their applications through the mail. But above all, this isn't just Hollywood. We also have people like the founder of Crown Realty and Development was caught up in this, Hercules Technology, Pimco Investment Management Company. So look to see a lot of names high on the list of the rich thinking they can get away with anything.
But this isn't unheard of, right? Bribing, or no, I shouldn't say that. I take that back. Giving donations to schools.
Normal. This isn't
so they're
that your
siblings,
child will be favored.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of legacy kids. I guess I technically am a legacy kid, but when my mother is a professor at the university that I went to. I had to get into that university, and trust me, when some of my friends were in the same situation where their parents would have gotten a break on tuition and they didn't get in, my parents told me it's either I got in on my own merit or I would have to pay for my own college 100%.
Wow.
And I mean, that's like, to me, this is like the most ridiculous thing in the world. If you have $500,000 to donate to a school in order to get your child some special accolade, does your child really need a special accolade? And the thing about it is, we're all looking over here when we should be looking over here, because everybody wants to talk about people getting in for so many different reasons. It's because of legacy. It's because of skin tone. It's because of how much money you don't have. And no one's ever talking about what's happening over here, because apparently that's better than being poor and not being able to go to school.
That's a really good point. Affirmative action in a totally different way.
And what do you think is going to happen to, I know there's a lot of people that are being indicted, but Lori Loughlin specifically, she's on the Hallmark Channel.
So I have no idea what's going to happen to her. I definitely think Tori will have a better idea of that than me. But what I'm more shocked is the fact that, yeah, she's done this in the first place, and the fact that she has that much money to spend on trying to bribe a school. Why isn't she spending that money on maybe private education for her child to get her to pass the exam like anyone else normally should?
Yeah, and what was really interesting is they said they were rowers. This is Lori Loughlin's two daughters. They said they're rowers so that they could get a scholarship. Well, not only do they not row, when she sent a picture in of them rowing, it's them on a rowing machine. It's not even on the water.
It's
so
crazy.
I mean, it's not even. It's sloppy. It's so bad.
I don't understand in what world. Obviously, here in their world, you fill out your examinations and then you do that in private and then send them in.
Yeah.
In the UK, that does not happen.
Right. I don't know. This is all alleged right now. I can't wait to hear from Lori Loughlin and Felicity. So I
do have to bring this up, though, because we keep saying that the kids had no idea.
How did they not know?
How do they not know that they're supposed to be rowers?
That's what I was wondering. 100%
the whole thing just seems very bizarre.
We're going to talk about it later in the show, so we'll say we're at the top of the next block. So, but we have new video in right now of Jussie Smollett showing up to a Chicago courthouse. Let's get over to Kelly Schubert with the latest.
Jeff, a hearing in Chicago for Jussie Smollett's case just ended. We're told Jussie didn't even have to show up for today's hearing, but here he is strutting into the courtroom right before it started. Now, this is the first time we've seen the actor since he was indicted on 16 counts after police say he lied about being the victim of a hate crime. Now, in today's hearing, the judge decided he will allow cameras to be in the courtroom during the case. Jussie's team reportedly says they welcome the cameras because of the misinformation that has been leaked to the media. Jeff, Jussie's legal team says they plan to speak to the media Thursday. I'll keep you updated.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, just my thoughts on this, guys. If we can show the clip again of him walking in. Mark Garagos is his defense litigator, and he's a very aggressive attorney for big stars. This is all choreographed to like a Beyonce formation level. Even when he's wearing the glasses, what I picture this is a foreshadow. The defense is going to come out aggressively against the Chicago PD, saying that they have racial bias and that there's police brutality. Now, that's a lot of distraction from what actually happened, allegedly, but that's what I think you're going to see in the court case.
See, I think it might even have something to do with Superintendent Eddie Johnson. Because,
I think so too.
Or as
the beef there,
right? Because you know he was very emotional because he took this very personally.
Agreed.
And I've never seen a press conference like that where it was almost like it was judge, jury, he's guilty.
Completely.
And that hasn't sat well with me because everyone deserves their day in court, regardless of how much mounting evidence TMZ puts out into the world.
Totally.
So I am glad that the cameras will be in because that'll be a lot harder for people to spin it into whatever they want this to be.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Today is a very special anniversary. Any guesses? Okay, the World Wide Web turns 30 today.
Yay!
How many of you remember this sound?
Yeah, that was my teenage years.
It gives me anxiety.
Well, Google. There we go. I was wondering how long that was going to go on. Google is marking the occasion with this doodle, paying homage to a vintage computer complete with a floppy disk drive, clunky keyboard, and an old school monitor. But it's that modem connection that made all the difference. And it was this man, English software engineer Tim Berners-Lee, I can't believe I don't even know that name, who on this date in 1989 wrote a paper that detailed the creation of the World Wide Web, a universally accepted way of accessing the internet. That sounds like crazy talk 30 years ago. Right. And now 30 years later, the whole world has changed, but this is what got us talking. Do you remember your first experience on the World Wide Web? Again, I want to go back to Tim for a second. Why isn't this guy's name in every household?
It's very strange. All we know is that Al Gore said he invented the internet. He did introduce a bill to help it get started, but why don't we know this Tim Berners-Lee guy?
Oh, Al.
Oh, wow.
Do you guys remember, what was your first experience on the internet?
Oh my gosh, I remember having the hugest computer, like, I'm not joking, it was about this big, and we had to plug it into the wall and you heard that noise and my mum and dad would be like, you're allowed half an hour.
Oh.
And do you know what I used to do? This is really embarrassing, but me and my best friend Charlotte, we used to pretend that we were American cheerleaders on chat rooms because we thought it was so cool.
Give us your best impression of American cheerleader.
Well, it was just like typing, so no one could even see. It was literally that early that you didn't even have a photograph.
Oh, no way.
And we go on like random chat rooms and talk to whoever on the internet. We'd be like, hi, my name's Candice, and I'm a cheerleader.
That's what you thought an American cheerleader name was?
I don't know. But yeah, we rocked that game for quite some time, didn't we, Charlotte?
Nice. How about yours? What was yours?
I remember my mom busting me at like midnight, and I was probably
midnight, right?
I went in the basement so that I could like tiptoe, but then you had to like dial on at another phone, so I was like tiptoeing in the basement, and anytime you pick up the phone, it would disconnect.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle, so I was like, you know, just typing furiously because she also got me typing lessons so I could type really fast. So I'm typing, and all of a sudden I was like, it just disconnected. And she's like, get up, I'm gonna tell your dad, blah. Yeah.
So funny.
I just remember Oregon Trail dying of dysentery.
Me too.
Same thing?
And a lot of broken spokes or
spokes.
Whatever you call
the
those.
wheel spokes.
Yeah.
The carriage buggy spokes.
I still don't think we got it right.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it.
We'll get into break. DBL's Live will bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, what the heck is this giant creature? What? We'll have all the details on this viral superstar and meet the amazing family who has a new home thanks in part to our Bo Davidson. And you, the viewer, are the fifth host. You're fired up with comments about this photo of preschoolers in scrubs. Is it sexist or cute? DBL Nation will hear from you next.
and the internet was created 32 years ago, so 2 years before I was born, maybe a year before I was born. Technically it's 2 years before I was born. But yes, and I remember, who else was a fan of MSN? Oh yes, I loved MSN chat rooms.
What was your
chat rooms. I used to have like really weird ones. I'd be like Shelley or Candice or anything.
Where's Candice?
I don't know.
Is it Candice or Candice?
Sometimes they say I'm called Candy. Why am I called Candy? I don't know, but I just thought it was
Candice.
I thought it was really American, and we used to talk to anyone, like anyone. It was like we were ultimate catfishing. I mean, we were literally 12 and 13. We should not have been on the internet chat.
I don't remember chatting.
Oh, I chatted and pretended to be people. I pretended to be British. That's the bad thing we were doing. I was like, hello, cheerio. I was in there for hours.
I was on there for hours.
You know, and it was not supervised. I mean, this was the Wild West.
Yeah, but I mean, and I was like 12, 13.
I was really not.
I was talking to, I don't know who.
I don't know.
Could have been an 8-year-old man on the other. Probably not, because he wouldn't have known.
No, it was. Well, guys, we want to let you know what's coming up. Just so you know, let me know if you're interested. Wendy Williams is launching a substance abuse hotline. Really interested in hearing that. Netflix is also releasing a ton of interactive content.
No, did anyone see Black Mirror on Netflix, where you can determine the outcome of the show?
It's amazing. Bandersnatch, that episode. Can't text, it could be a Verizon outage, and Bed Bath & Beyond launches its first furniture line. I wonder if it's in the Beyond section.
Yeah. Come check me out on MSN, Candice.
Welcome back to DBL. A photo showing two young children aspiring for careers in medicine is getting a lot of reaction on Twitter. Medical Shots is a health-related Twitter account that posted this picture right here of a little girl wearing pink scrubs that says nurse in training, with a little boy holding her hand in green scrubs that says doctor in training. And the internet is on fire with comments. Some say this image is cute, while others say it's sexist. So DBL Nation, what do y'all think?
Well, Betty Sue from Facebook says, people are getting offended over way too much. This is a cute photo. Betty Sue, I agree, this is a cute photo. But we have to acknowledge the fact that there is a whole generation, including my 5-year-old niece Rita, who firmly believe, just like W. Kamau Bell said in his comedy special, that because of Doc McStuffin, every single doctor is a black woman. So I think representation does matter. I think it is a cute photo. And I also don't think we should be sleeping on our nurses, because they have a very rigorous skill set and they should be commended as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Donna from Facebook says, sure, the photo is cute, but it does feed into a stereotype. That's not rage talking, it's consciousness. I'm with you, and also with Erica too. I think, yeah, it is giving a certain image, but maybe, how do we know those kids didn't pick those outfits for themselves? Maybe she just likes pink. Maybe, I'm sure at that age, they can't even read the back of what it says on there. And maybe their mum and dad just thought, you look cute, let's put you in it, go play. I think sometimes we can feed a bit too much into this, and we get hyped up when they just do look really cute.
Cool. Brandy from YouTube says, I think nurses know way more than doctors, and I trust them more than doctors anyway. Maybe the boy will have the privilege of becoming a nurse one day. Brandy, I completely applaud you having a sick mother. I think nurses are angels on earth, both men and women. It's not the kids that I worry about. They can't read, they don't know. And I'm not outraged. Everyone's like, oh my God, you're so offended. And Donna said it best. It's just conscious that this is another stereotype saying that there's a potential blockage of how far a girl can go. I just want to know that in a girl size, it can say doctor in training. That's all. I'm not like burning my bra about it.
Why is it always a weird pause when
I don't know. Why is anyone listening?
Where are you listening? I said burning your bra when you're done. Thanks. And then it just fell off. All right, DL from Twitter says, I understand where the outcry is coming from in a sense. I don't, however, see the big deal with this. I just believe that some people have too much time on their hands and create drama where it's not necessary. You mean like on the internet, DL?
What?
Ooh. You know, I'm with Erica on this one. Before she started talking, my first reference was to go to Doc McStuffins. My son loves that show. It's a little black girl who's a doctor. And guess who the nurse is in that show? A hippopotamus. So if my son gets inspiration from anywhere. I don't care where he gets it from. If it's from the women who just went into outer space, and I don't care where he gets it from, whether they're black, female, whatever they are. I just want him to be inspired, and that's all I hope for. I don't care where he gets it from.
Or maybe from the hippo.
And I don't want to burn my brow either. All right, Britney Spears.
Silence, you hear it?
I know, I didn't like that. All right, Britney Spears lovers might have to want. All right, Britney Spears, we got a story about her and her family. It's new and ready to bring her song to you. Raquel, what do you got?
What a great introduction, Jeff. Get ready to hear all your favorite Britney Spears hits because the musical Once Upon One More Time is making its pre-Broadway debut. And it's not so much a story about her life, but more a take on classic princesses like Cinderella and Snow White, except this time they're saying, oops, I did it again, and sharing a message of empowerment for women. The show is heading to Chicago first, replacing Michael Jackson's musical, which was recently canceled. Now performances start in October.
Thanks, Raquel. That was a lot better than my intro.
It was.
Coming up on DBL, a bizarre statue honoring a famous athlete isn't what it seems. Stick around, trust me, you're going to want to. We'll reveal who it is. Also, meet the amazing family who has a new home thanks in part to our very own Bo Davidson. Coming up next on Daily Blast Live.
Nation, I have a story for you now. If anyone texted you today and said, oh, I'm really sorry I didn't get your message, or just saw this, you might actually want to believe them because there was a power outage on the East Coast where Verizon users weren't able to send messages or was really spotty. It's been resolved now. It was happening this morning, and I'm trying to see if I believe this. I don't want people to keep using this as an excuse because it only happened in the morning. That's what 13 WMAZ is reporting right now. So everything should be solved, but if you were affected by this, let us know. Because not every once in a while you get an excuse to be like, oh, sorry, my text didn't go through. So anyway, DBL Nation, I'll talk to you later.
Welcome back to DBL. Owning your own home. It's the American dream. But for some, it's a dream that may never be a reality. That's where Habitat for Humanity can help. The organization has helped more than 22 million people build or improve the place they call home. Last year, I helped build one of those homes, and earlier this month, I saw this story come full circle. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be checking out this Habitat for Humanity home that I helped build about 8 months ago. And the best part about it, I get to meet the family inside. Let's go check it out. Hi there, Bo Davidson.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm David.
David, great to meet you.
Nice
David,
to meet you too.
I'm a bit in awe right now. I'm looking at your home, and 8 months ago, I was right here sitting on the same slab of concrete, except I was hammering some nails. I was lifting this frame up above your porch here. This is a beautiful home. I mean, how does it feel to be in this home now?
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
Because this is my first home to get in America. My home in Congo was burned by rebels.
Burned?
Yeah, and then my dad was killed by rebels. That's why I left my country. I lost everything in my country.
Now that you have your own home, would you say that you have achieved your version of the American dream?
Yes, already. This is my first dream. I achieved. And then I want to achieve another dream for my education, to go to school, to become medical interpreter.
Medical interpreter.
Yes.
Did you help build this house?
Yes, I did. 200 hours.
200 hours?
Yes.
It's a lot. It's beautiful.
I did everything.
And you also have to work on your neighbors' homes too. Is that correct?
Yes.
Through Habitat for
I
Humanity?
work for all this house.
Whole street?
Yes.
How soon do you expect to move in?
Very soon, after 3 weeks, I have to move in.
So,
Yes.
David, thank you so much for taking the time with us. And, you know, I'm really inspired by your story. And I got to tell you, I'm so proud to have been a part of this home, knowing that you are the homeowner. And I wonder if you would do me the service of showing me around your home.
Okay, I can show you.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's take a look. Well, we have one thing that I do want to give to you. This is from all of us at Daily Blast Live. This is just a nice little welcome package for you with some things, with some good American treats, some popcorn, all kinds of stuff in here. This is from us to you to welcome you to your new home here in Denver.
Thank you so
There
much.
you go. Oh.
Thank you so much.
Give me a hug, David.
Thank you.
David's story is incredible. To learn more about how you can help families like David's, visit www.habitatmetrodenver.org. Coming up on DBL, is this the most bizarre statue you've ever seen? There's a hilarious reason for it you won't want to miss. Also, our favorite puppy pitchman is back with a new dog that needs a forever home. Maybe you can help. Up next on Daily Blast Live.
Are talking about the cheating scandal, about the two celebrities not forging documents but paying off the schools and getting their children extra help in the exams to get them into school. So let's see what you think. Let's have a little look.
Do they do that in England? Is that like a popular thing?
That is not a thing.
Sorry.
That
hey,
is
everybody.
not. Chris is in the background piping up,
It's got
chiming
the British
in.
angle here, so we never explored
So
it.
in England, when you do your exams, one thing I found very confusing is they said that they sent off the exam paperwork and they had someone helping them. That would not happen. When you do your exams in England, you're in a big hall, like a big school hall, and there's literally hundreds of you all at once. It's timed, it's moderated. Is that what it's normally like in America? Would you say?
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to like gauge this.
Yes, it is.
So I mean, I just don't want to quite understand. And normally, for the first 5 minutes, you're sat there, you're taking your time, you're reading all the questions, like you've got all the time in the world. And in the last 10 minutes, you're scribbling frantically because the countdown is on and you don't know half the answers.
I felt under the gun the whole time. But, you know, I mean, the reading section, they got it this long. I'm just trying to read this as fast as I can, comprehend it as fast as I can, and just get through it.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people, at least when I was taking it, they didn't finish one of the longer like language portions of it. Like
Right,
people
okay.
just there wasn't enough time to finish it. So.
Wow. Oh, the music. Oh no, it's okay.
Oh yeah, they didn't play us off.
Are we been cut off?
We're good.
We're still on?
We're good.
Okay, sorry, I can hear music in my ear.
Is this thing on?
So let's have a little look at what is going on. So Barbara Victor in Seattle says she feels sad for the kids who deserve to get into college but were turned away due to college admission numbers, especially when the parent who bribed someone to let their less than academically smart kid getting in. See, I just don't understand this. I find it very confusing. Obviously, there's limited numbers per class in school, and it should just simply come down to your grades. It shouldn't come down to scholarships. It shouldn't come down to people paying for you to get in. It should just depend on like how good you are in that subject area and do a test. There was one school that I wanted to go to when I was younger, and they had their own examination before they would even consider you.
True.
So you go to their school, you sit the exam with their teachers, and then you have to physically pass that exam. If you don't answer the questions, if you don't get enough points or answers, you're not going. So why is that not happening? And if it is a scholarship for like rowing, they should be going to prove their rowing skills. They should have to go and do a race. They should go and have to do whatever it is.
It's weird that, okay, fine, rowing is a competitive sport. There should be some record of their high school like participation in this sport.
Well,
I can't say I'm a football player and then there's no record of me playing in high school. Like, does it add up?
Yeah.
You know, it's weird.
So for me,
It's the checks and
for me
balances.
to come to America, obviously it's not school, obviously, but for me to come here and get a visa, I had to prove so much. I had to prove my work history, I had to prove videos, I had to have pictures, I had to have statements from other people. Yet for school, you just send in a fake picture on a rowing machine and you can get in.
With a lot of money, yeah.
This seems very bizarre.
This is
to me.
America.
Welcome back to DBL. Every week, our favorite puppy pitchman, Roman, introduces us to a new dog up for adoption. And every week, we try to find that dog a forever home. But this week, we have a very special pup up for adoption. And DBL Nation, we need your help finding her a family. Meet Trixie in today's Roman's Rescues.
Hi, everyone. This is my friend Trixie here. She's maybe 3, but a super sweet girl. She's honestly had a rough life. Trixie's a pitbull.
Yeah, why do you say she's had a rough life?
I mean, she's honestly been bred a lot, and she has a lot of scars on her face.
She does.
But Trixie's a really sweet girl. She really needs a home. A really good home that wants Trixie.
Like to love her.
That will love her and give her exactly everything she'll want. Adopt this sweet Trixie.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Roman.
You did.
And I really sold it in the beginning.
You did.
I did.
You did a great job.
He's probably definitely going to get adopted.
You're the reason for that one, buddy. You're the reason.
No, Roman's the man. You guys got some comments?
Yeah, so Naomi wrote, Yahoo Messenger was my first chat program. Yahoo! That was And then Lulu wrote, I just realized World Wide Web is not the same as internet. And that's actually very true. The World Wide Web is the way you access the internet. Ask me if I know what that means.
How do you know that?
Because instead of us saying it's the internet's 30th birthday, we were specific to say today is the World Wide Web's anniversary. He wrote a paper on what the whole idea, the umbrella could be.
Now that we know it's W, can't we just put W? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
do we need the
3 of them?
HTTP? Are the HTTP out?
I don't know.
I think you just type it in and it automatically goes.
I think
now,
so, yeah.
We're learning a lot. If you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next.
Michael Cohen's unlikely jailmates? We'll tell you all about the familiar faces he could end up bunking with behind bars. Plus, we have harrowing new video of people cheating death. You won't believe the close calls caught on camera. And a world-famous athlete is finally honored with his own statue. Can you figure out who he is? Find out when DBL comes back.
All right, guys, have you seen this, by the way? That's the Lucille Ball statue that was put up, too. There's another one. We're about to tell you about a really
That's
funny story.
horrendous.
Isn't that hilarious?
Did you give that to them?
No, I should right now.
I don't know if they're going to have time.
You don't think? It's so funny. Thank you.
You guys use AIM back in the day?
I used AIM, and mine was tea time, because at first it was tea bag, and then I realized that's not a great thing to use. So mine was tea time. Is it supposed to be?
Do you use AIM, Jeff?
I don't remember having one. I don't know why I didn't have one.
And the door would open,
I don't
and then
think
your
I
crush would
shed
come
it,
on,
to be honest
Randy
with you.
Dandy, Randy Vandy, who would come on.
Opening sounded like a Star Trek door.
Yeah, and then it goes bang when they leave.
I don't know why I don't have any memory of.
Okay, that's what
I don't think I was in those chat rooms.
Okay.
I think I was out
for sure.
doing something. I don't think I was in there. But I do remember like MySpace, and you could chat on there.
Yes. Do you remember Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego playing
I watched
that?
the show. I never played it.
Did you play computer games like Lemmings?
Oh,
Does
that
anyone
was the
remember
thing. I
Lemmings?
wasn't really bothered about it, but my brother was.
I was a computer. Well, that's because I'm a geek. Probably.
And my brother liked The Sims.
Sims.
And my sister liked The Sims, actually. I was not as fussed on the old Simage.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I don't remember having like an AOL login. I don't know why. I remember MySpace though. MySpace was like before
What was your
Facebook.
theme
In case.
tune? You know, you had a right. You know, on MySpace, you had a theme tune in the background.
That was my favorite part.
What was your song?
Okay, got it.
So I had
Isn't
a
it
lot.
funny, though?
Superman by Dave Matthews was one.
What was yours?
Remember that
Thank
song?
you.
What was
And then
your-
I download a lot of stuff from Napster.
Napster.
What was your favorite? What was your
Remember
song
in
on
MySpace?
Oh God. Oh, a take on me.
Yeah,
Take
we're gonna
on
keep
me.
off this first story because we already talked about it.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. We're live and we're talking about what you're talking about. Let's get to it, guys. We are following what authorities are calling the largest college admissions scam ever prosecuted by the Department of Justice. And big-name celebrities are allegedly involved, including Full House star Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman from Desperate Housewives. They have been indicted along with dozens of others, a massive bribery scheme. They allegedly paid large amounts of money to get their kids into elite schools. And the alleged ringleader William Singer is accused of creating a fake nonprofit as a front to launder payments. The U.S. Attorney's Office says some payments were as high as $6.5 million. Wow. College coaches have also been charged at schools including Wake Forest University, Georgetown, the University of Southern California, and the University of Texas. Now celebrities are weighing in. Actor Dean Norris tweets, "It's hard enough for working class kids to succeed without rich privilege taking opportunity away." Well said. And Bethany Frankel from The Real Housewives tweets, "Everyone has to front. Go to school you can get into, or don't go to school at all." No front.
You know, I don't want to put Tori on the spot, but Tori has been very, very candid about something. So your father is legacy for what school?
Yale and Harvard.
You wanted nothing more than to get into
Yale and then Harvard.
And what happened?
I didn't get into Yale.
And where'd you go?
University of Michigan.
That seems like that makes some sense to me.
But she did buy her way into the Yale online. She's almost through the first quarter of the class.
It's true, and I remember talking to my dad about this. I'm being very, very serious. I went to a very academic, the bastion of Washington, D.C. elites, and I was like, "Dad, is there anything you can do to help with Yale?" And he said, "I can be a legacy, but there's nothing I'm ever going to do that you can't earn on your own." And that's why I'm here today. There's work ethic there. Excuse that.
You're teaching your kids the wrong things in life.
Exactly.
This is what you're doing for them.
Exactly.
Even if they don't know they're doing it, you're teaching them the wrong things in life.
It's a bad
That's
parenting.
exactly it.
I'm still confused as to how you're on the rowing team and you don't know you're supposed to be on the rowing team.
That's what I don't understand.
Now, I did find out this. Lori Loughlin's first daughter did do the rowing scholarship. Her second daughter, they were planning on doing it the same way, but they decided against it. She's on a plane right now to surrender herself, but the second daughter was not implicated.
Wait, I thought that was Felicity's daughter.
I'm sorry, Felicity's daughter.
So when you say surrender herself, what does that mean?
She's going to the police station to literally put herself in
So
custody.
when she flies back, she's going to go to the police station and then to face the charges.
This is serious.
How many glasses of wine do you have?
I know. I'm interested in hearing their side of the story as well.
Yep.
All right, guys, we have to show you what went down on the Late Late Show last night. This is hilarious. Host James Corden pulled an elaborate prank on soccer star David Beckham, and James created a fake and awful statue, that's it right there, of Beckham and pats it off for the real one. Watch this.
I mean, look at my chin. The only thing that's good is the hair, and that's about it. Look at my bum.
Yeah, again, I'm telling you, that's in motion. That's how it looks.
It definitely doesn't look like that.
I mean, no, yeah.
Listen, I encourage you guys to go online and watch it. It's about 9 minutes long, the whole thing. It's hilarious, and shout out to David Beckham. What a great sport he was throughout the whole thing.
I would have been so. He seems like a really nice guy.
David Beckham is the ultimate gentleman, let me tell you. He is known for his decorum and class. He would never, I mean, it's the British way. Even if you're hating it,
stiff upper lip,
you keep it to yourself until you're in private, and then you discuss it. You would never say in front of everyone anyway. Like, you just wouldn't.
His
It's just not
arms
the
are like
kind of
18
thing.
feet long.
I just love how they gave him the bum from Botched.
I know.
Like the before. I mean, what is that diaper booty? I know a lot of women are walking around with one, but that is a diaper booty.
That was hilarious.
And didn't they lift up the statue at the end and then break it?
Well, Tori ruined the end in case you guys didn't see it.
Oh, I thought.
It breaks at the end, and then he goes to the forklift driver. He goes, "I think you just did me a favor." Like, The secret, he says it, so it's hilarious. Go on and watch it. All right, guys, Disney fans are getting excited because the new Aladdin trailer just dropped. I'm pumped. I know Brandon London is. He's got the story coming in hot.
Oh, yeah, Jeff, I'm definitely pumped because it's a whole new world. And not because I'm singing, but because the new trailer for the Disney live-action remake of Aladdin is finally here. And it brings the 1992 classic film to life. And we even see Will Smith bust a move as the Magic Genie. Check it out.
Watch this.
Watch out! You done wound me up. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my powers?
Y'all see my powers? Well, watch these powers. On the count of 3, I want everybody in the room. We're going to do a whole new world together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
A whole new world.
We're going to work on that, but Aladdin hits theaters May 24th.
I thought for sure nobody was going to say anything. I was in on the silent train. I'm going to see how this works.
You did it, did you? No one did it.
You were the only one.
I'm that kind of person.
Went
Way
for
to go,
it.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Tori and Brandon always chiming in with our studio audience. We do not have a studio audience. All right, guys. Good job, Brandon. President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, has been sentenced to 3 years in prison, but where will he be serving his time? He's expected to head to Otisville Federal Correctional Institution, a medium security prison in upstate New York. It reportedly has a deli, a bocce ball court, and prisoners could stay up till 2 a.m. He would join other convicts like Mike the Situation Sorrentino, convicted for tax fraud, and Bill McFarland, the man behind the Fire Festival. And here's what we think the prison deli might look like. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. I think that you need another cheese sandwich for McFarland over there.
Yeah. Big Mike likes to eat it up too. He likes to eat too. Yeah. Good button there. A whole new world.
That's the studio audience.
All right, guys. Since that story is so riveting, we're going to move on. There's a new movement, and this is serious. I love this story, sweeping the internet called #ImNotOK. It's reminiscent of the Me Too hashtag. Actress Evan Rachel Wood started it all by posting images from an old photo shot with this caption: "The day of the photo shoot, I was so weakened by the abusive relationship, I was severely depressed and could barely stand. I fell into a pool of tears and was sent home for the day." Now the hashtag has taken off, with many people tweeting their own stories of domestic violence. You could see a few on your screen. While it's important to bring awareness to this issue and share your stories, it's also important to get help or to talk to somebody. So you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE, and the hashtag has really evolved into something bigger and has inspired us here at DBL to open up about when we haven't been okay. So I'm not being facetious or making fun of, but Tori, do you want to start and tell us a story
thank you for
when
being
you were
kind.
not okay?
Thank you for being kind about that. Yeah, we joke a lot, but this is a really serious topic, and we want to give some time to that. This is my picture of me not okay, and it looks like I'm okay. It's me at University of Michigan, go Blue, holding a beer, representing. You could see people behind me. I'm at the Big House, which is the stadium, and it's the biggest stadium in college history, and I'm surrounded by probably 120,000 people, and I'm the most alone I've ever felt in my life, ever. And you can't see it, you don't know it, but there's a really great story very, very quickly that I'll let you know. There's a man in a hole, and a rabbi walks by, and the rabbi looks down and says, "Here, try this. It's the Old Testament." And the guy looks at it, and he walks by. And then you see a priest walk by, and he goes, "Here's the New Testament. Try this," and walks by. And then his friend walks by, and he gets in the hole with him. He says, "What are you doing? How are you going to get out?" And he goes, "I've been here before. I know the way out." And there's something about I'm not okay that speaks to that in a viral way of saying, I'm going to get in this hole with you, and I'm going to show you that I know the way out. And it's not that you're devouring sadness or you're in depression, but when you're not awake for 3 days straight and you're not eating and you're not showering and you're not calling anyone, you want someone to kind of get in that moment and space with you and say, I've been in that hole and I know the way out. And I think that's what this is on social media.
Thank you for sharing that, Tori. Do you have a moment or picture?
Yeah. So this photo, I'm in my locker room at the Pepsi Center before a Nuggets game. And what I find the most interesting about this is that I'm not wearing my wedding ring. It was the first time I had publicly gone out without my wedding ring. And the same thing as Tori was saying, when you're in a stadium with 18,000 people and you're in the center of a court, especially especially in my position, because I had one of those positions where everyone was telling me, like, I want your position. So it was this sense that, like, I was just faking it, and there's a lot of exposure there. Like, if you've been to an NBA arena, you know that if you're standing in the middle, that means there's people all the way around you. There's nowhere to hide. And all I really wanted to do was hide in that moment, but I had to continue to move forward. And I say that because I was supposed to be in an enviable position, but there was nothing about my life at that moment that I felt was worth envy. So I think that's really important for people. I think it's a responsibility that we have to talk about it, especially in an Instagram society where everything is so unicorns.
The highlight reel of your life.
Beautiful.
Yes.
How about you, Steph? Did you have a moment? That
I
you could really...
do. So here, I think these guys will put a picture. So these are two pictures of me. So on the left, this is on one of the biggest career highlights of my entire life. I was presenting to a few million people at that event, and it was the biggest job I've ever had. And in reality, I was super, super stressed. I was really, really ill. My TV show back in England had just been cancelled, and I did not know what I was going to do. I had a mortgage. My relationship was going really badly, and everyone was like, everything's so great, you're doing so great, you've just landed this hugest gig of your life. And really, I was just so sick, and I just didn't know what to do. I should not have been going to work, and the picture was literally, I collapsed straight after the performance ended, and I got taken to hospital. But it was because I was just so exhausted and so tired. And in that moment, everyone, all my friends, all my family, everyone was like, this is it, this is the best day of your life, like nothing else matters. And I was like, oh my God, they couldn't have been further from the truth. So it just goes to show, just people couldn't act like everything's great. I mean, hell, I definitely did it then, but really it was awful. It was terrible behind the scenes. And like Erica said, like you're in that position where everyone's thinking, oh, I wish I wasn't. I was getting all these messages saying, wow, but really I was just like, I just want to go home, go to bed and never see anyone ever again.
And that's why I think people, when they look at the internet, they think everyone else's life is perfect, and it's just not. And those are 3 examples of it. My life, I don't have a photo of anything, but I've hit rock bottom, and I don't want to go back and find a photo from when that was. It wasn't anything terrible. I wasn't clinically depressed or anything like that, but I wasn't finding my way, and positivity helped me find my way. So I urge you guys to speak out like everyone did. Thank you guys on the panel here. But don't get wrapped up in that hashtag. If it helps you, definitely do that. I'm just speaking from my own experiences. Try to surround yourself with positivity rather than going and hearing more negative stories about somebody else. Try to get some positivity in your life. It's always darkest before dawn. You could get yourself out of that hole, like Tori mentioned. So be careful with what you're looking at. There's a lot of positive things online to look at, and sometimes just reading those tweets are depressing enough in itself. So get yourself out of the hole, look at some positive things every day, and do the right thing in life.
There you go.
Wow. All right, guys. DBL is live. Coming up, a wild video is going viral, and as people wondering how no one was hurt. Wow, you guys got to see this to believe it. And this is not a pet, so what the heck is it? Find out this crazy story behind this furry giant coming up on DBL.
So
Tori's got a message from Lulu on YouTube, and it says, love Tori's story. Also, being alone doesn't mean not having people around you. Sometimes you actually feel worse being around people if they don't feel you.
Yeah, that's when I say that story that I love about the person in the hole, and it's like you can replace it with a priest, a teacher, whatever it is, but it's the friend that jumps in the hole and says, I know the way out of the hole that really gets you there, because that person is saying, I've been as low as you've been.
Yeah.
And I always say this, and I say it again, depression is the one disease that makes it not want you to cure itself. You have no energy, you're about this big, and the black walls are about this thick, and you don't have energy to make and pick up a phone. That's how bad it was. So when someone, like you just said, has the same feelings as you, and you can relate to that, suddenly there's a little bit of a spark of, wait, you know this feeling? I thought I was the only one, the worst person in the world that was feeling this way.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the hashtag that way, but what Jeff was saying is, be selective about what you're looking at online. He's right. You can get into a rabbit hole, I call it, of just like terrible, terrible, terrible things. Or on the flip side, amazing things that you don't have, amazing things. So don't just let it come over you. Curate your own social media thoughtfully.
And I'm just speaking from my, everyone's
Like that
giving
works
their
for you.
own, this works for me. And again, I'm saying if you have clinical depression, you obviously get yourself some help. I don't want you thinking you had a flat tire and that, oh my God, I'm so depressed about this, I'm gonna go online and share some other stories of people that are seriously depressed. Don't fall into that rabbit hole, is what I'm saying, because it's easy to, misery loves company. It's a saying for a reason, and sometimes people aren't as miserable as they think, and then they find themselves as miserable as they thought they were.
That's true, but I also think what this shows is, like you and you were both at very big moments in your careers, and you never know the uphill battles that people are facing. So I'm not okay is usually a picture of what you think you look okay, but you're actually really unhappy, and I think that can give a lot of empathy to a lot of people, because a lot of people around the world are dealing with that. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. We have to talk about some crazy videos that are trending, and they're all situations where people are cheating death. There's some good ones in here. Take a look at this giant fireball. 2 officers from Georgia sprang into action right before a car went up in flames. Just seconds earlier, they pulled the car over that was on fire. One officer grabbed the fire extinguisher. He was able to put it out the fire enough to drag the driver out that was trapped inside. Then it burst into flames. Wow. Today, the officers are being awarded the Life-Saving Medal Award, and justly so. Holy cow.
That's incredible. And you could see the guy they were pulling out had no capacity that he was going to get out by himself. Yeah. I mean, they needed those angels at that moment.
Absolutely. And there's some people who run towards that fire, and there's some people who run away from the fire. And thank God for firefighters, police officers, paramedics,
first responders,
doctors, everybody. It's
they
just,
risk their lives every day to help everyone else.
Absolutely. Well, we got more, guys. This next video comes from London, England, Steph. A gusty 70-mile-an-hour wind narrowly missed a man strolling on the sidewalk. We're going to play that video. It makes it a little more dramatic.
You want to act it out, Jeff?
There it is. All right. So watch this man. Look at that. The bricks fall right behind him and safely walks away uninjured.
Oh my God.
That's right. Looks like he was super scared, though. From another angle, he's running from the falling debris, and no one was hurt, but it took the fire department 2 hours to clean up.
I feel that high step. Anyone who's been, seriously, anyone who's been in like a car accident or something, like a freak accident, that high step, there's something about that, just making sure that you have all
the
of your
adrenaline you're
things.
getting,
Because I remember jumping out of a car after a car accident, and that was the first thing I did, was like just high step, like just to make sure.
I don't know. Sometimes when it's like that, I mean, I believe in this stuff. I don't know if you guys do, but it's like a different energy out there, a spirit from above, like just a little push.
Yeah, I think that's fate. Just goes to show England's beautiful. We've got lots of gorgeous architecture, but damn, we're old. A bit of wind, don't do so well, do we?
All right. We want to warn you about this next video. It's pretty intense and scary, but we want to assure you no one was injured, okay? So this is pretty graphic. A high school soccer game was interrupted by high winds when a light pole fell on a referee.
Oh, my.
He broke 2 bones in one leg and injured his foot, and he'll need 1 more surgery. But again, he's okay. I mean, that's
awful.
It looks like a cartoon anvil.
I know. It's almost like I'm surprised he lived through it. I'm so glad he did, but that one was intense.
That's awful. It's terrifying. But I do see, it reminds me of the Theismann injury, which is the NFL.
Joe Theismann.
Really hard. But when that happened, both sets of teams went like this and said, get to it, we need help. And the sport was over. Getting to him was the most important.
There's been a couple like that throughout, unfortunately, you know, NCAA and pros. But we're gonna end on some happier stuff, huh?
Yes,
Jennifer
please.
Lopez is sharing some new engagement photos. Raquel Villanueva, make us smile.
That's right, Jeff. J-Lo is actually sharing the exact moment A-Rod got down on bended knee to propose. While we've all been focused on that new rock that she's got, J-Lo is sharing these sweet moments on the beach, and her reaction as he popped the question after 2 years of dating. He also posted the same pic with the caption, locking it down, #future Mrs. Rodriguez. And with this, it looks like they are both shaking off the cheating allegations Jose Canseco's made shortly after their engagement.
Thanks, Raquel.
So cute.
Erica, just give it to me. I'm getting tired of this. This is ridiculous.
What?
What do you mean? Like every day you got to come out with a photo showing how awesome you are? Enough's
Well, it's
enough.
their lives. What? People with nice lives don't get to show their lives too?
I don't know.
Can I be
It's
honest?
so strange. We all aspire to be that, and then we get mad when they show
That's so true. That's true.
I don't know if I want to be that.
I legit think J-Lo is so extra that he probably proposed in secret and then they reenacted
100%.
it and hired a photographer in the
100%.
second moment when she's got her hair and her makeup in place.
But also, it's not Mrs. Rodriguez, it's Mr. J-Lo, let's be honest.
for sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
We were all thinking it.
We'll talk in the break about it.
Okay.
I got a little more in my tank.
I can't
we'll
wait.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Jeff wants to do some more hating in 3, 2.
No, I was just making fun. I'm like, how'd that happen? Like, hey, Rod, do you want to go down to the beach and take some photos? Sure, J-Lo. Wait, hold on. Let me get my polo so I can change outfits. Get out of here.
Yeah, he
You
was
know
also
what I mean?
in white pants and white shoes on a sandy beach,
But
like
that is a
perfectly.
beautiful photo
But you
to
just
have
did
forever.
your ginormous engagement ring. Every day it's got to be something. You're in a award show every day.
Yeah, there has to be something. There has to be something
But
to
leave a
look
little
forward
mystery.
to.
It's like every day.
Their brand
It's
is doing
their
very
lives.
well.
They're well, next time, maybe they'll post their tuna sandwich.
Maybe. J-Lo made me tuna. Mwah, love her so much. We're never breaking up, ever, ever.
Look at this
It's like
opportunity.
If you actually did some,
Oh,
J-Lo
God.
and A-Rod did something super pedestrian, like post their pastrami sandwich, everybody be like, oh, look at them trying to act like they're the rest of us. But they show something like what their life is really like, and everybody gets all upset about it.
Listen, I wasn't buying it from that turtleneck he was wearing in that Vanity
I
Fair
think it
spread.
started with the turtleneck.
Yeah.
If you guys remember the cover, it's J-Lo looking absolutely fabulous.
And J-Lo picking out A-Rod's outfit.
And then it's a very high, like, I'm not uncomfortable, I'm A-Rod.
Like we all are right now. That's how it is.
yeah, very uncomfortable.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about helping others. Watch how a couple battled the snow to feed stranded drivers. This couple hiked through the snow to bring food to stranded motorists. Jade and Quentin Sell were stuck in an Oregon traffic jam for 3 hours. They made it home, but learned the next morning that many hadn't.
We heard that people were still stuck, and we thought, well, we should bring them sandwiches and, do whatever we can to, help out.
With their dogs, they bought supplies and walked back to the freeway. They gave the food and water to grateful drivers, some of whom offered money.
They're like, how much? And we're like, how much? What are you talking about? Free?
One driver gave them $100, which Jade and Quentin spent on more food. They were impressed by how the drivers were looking out for each other.
Oh, we don't need food, but they need food. That they're hypoglycemic. There's a baby down back there, so people out there are like just the ideal example of humanity.
The couple didn't expect any reward for their actions. They just did what they would want others to do for them.
So rewarding, just being able to love on people in that way.
A reminder that we can all do something to help others. Coming up on DBL, he's not a pet and he doesn't take no for an answer. Find out the crazy story behind this viral love bug coming up on Daily Blast Live.
So we're going to be talking about the hashtag I'm Not Okay, and we've got some comments. So Lulu A from Facebook said she loved Tori's story. She said that being alone doesn't mean not having people around you. Sometimes you actually feel worse being around people if they don't feel you. That's so true. It's more about making the effort, trying to understand that person, what they're going through, and trying to understand their mindset, because when you are in that mindset, it's so hard to see anything out of it, and everyone else can be like, oh, you just need to do this, you just need to do that. But even just sometimes just getting out of bed, just picking up a phone, talking to someone, that in itself takes up all your energy and everything you've got in that moment. So it's much healthier and better for that person that's not doing very well if other people can understand that and try and be in their shoes and try and get in that situation with them theoretically, so that they can help them become better and feel better. And it takes time, it's a process. Kimberly on YouTube says, it's so true. It wasn't until my sister helped me get help with a therapist that I realized how far into depression I was. I honestly just thought that's how life was as an adult. Wow, that's really, really tough, Kimberly. I'm so sorry you felt that way, and I hope that you're feeling much better now. Do let us know, because we'd love to know. Cindy says on Facebook, my daughter went through postpartum depression. It is a big deal. My heart goes out to all women who went through this. Now, Jordan, Jeff's wife, went through this. Sam on the panel, she went through this, and it sounds as though it was so scary. I can't even imagine how that must have been for them. But they're both doing way better now. They're doing amazingly well, and that is through the support and help from their friends, their family, and really taking time to overcome it. Don't expect things just to go away overnight. It does need work, but you will get there, and there is definitely, like Jeff said, things are darkest before dawn, and just keep that in your mind and you will be okay. And Jeanette on Facebook says, I think sometimes we do know we're going to be okay, but when we're in such a dark place at that moment, it just seems like all is lost. Sometimes we have to reflect back to when we were in a dark moment to remind ourselves we survived, to help others, and that they will make it too. Thank God every day for my dark times. That's right. So if you're going through something like this, if you've experienced it before, try and remember a time when you have been in this situation and then you've overcome it, and the challenges and maybe things that helped you last time, or maybe you can talk to a friend who's suffered with something like this before, who then you can help someone else if someone else in your life is going through this. Just try and be there for other people in your life as much as you can. Listen to them, talk to them, give advice and support, and just be there for them. Just be a good friend or a good family member. That's all anyone really, really wants. Jacob on YouTube says, I have my college ID. I look happy when it was taken, but I was depressed in my mind. I agree it took me years to overcome my depression. It took like 10 years to overcome it, but now I'm in a very happy place. Well, thank you, Jacob, and I'm glad you're doing much better. Stay with us, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. You have to see this dog that's going viral. Meet Yuki, not your typical canine. He's a massive 12-year-old gray wolf. He was saved from a kill shelter at 8 months old and by Shy Wolf Sanctuary. Good for you, Shy Wolf Sanctuary. You want to look them up there in Naples, Florida. And after a volunteer posted images of him online, he has become a viral sensation. Yuki appears to look twice her size, but the volunteer says it's a fat angle. We all have one. While Yuki is not up for adoption, people can sponsor him through the sanctuary.
How much does that dog weigh? I had a Great Dane, 6'2", 155 pounds, dwarfed by Yuki.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for Game of Thrones.
Yes.
See you tomorrow.